This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. In West Philadelphia.
All right, welcome back to the Cycling Collab podcast, the off the record, off the cuff, sometimes off topic look at all things cycling from around the world and here at home. This is the Angus and Reon show, or depending on what side of the desk you're sitting from, it could be the Reon and Angus show.
Yeah, boy.
Welcome back, big dog, as we interrupt our normal podcast schedule for a bit of a special episode tonight.
Fuck yes, Tour of Southland rap. Michael Vink, the big dog's in the house. Yeah, boy. Yeah, mate.
Yeah. Michael, welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
Thanks for coming.
Cheers.
We'll get to you in a minute. We're also joined here in the studio by Campbell Pithy, who's just quietly sitting there
out the gate,
going about his job as he did all week at the Tour of Southland.
Double stage winner, Tour of Southland.
So a pretty special episode tonight. Thank you guys for coming for a start. But as always, thank you to everybody out there that's watched, that's listened to our previous episodes, who's hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Michael, have you subscribed?
I have. Yeah.
Oh,
many times
yeah.
over.
Look at that. Follow
Love it.
all I can say is follow the leader.
Yeah.
And
Good call,
hit
good
the
call.
subscribe button.
Campbell hasn't.
Does Campbell do social media?
Not really.
Campbell's just here for dinner.
He's the chicken roast veggies that were burnt.
A big shout out to I'm just going to. Yes, I am. Look at that. We've been working hard in the background, and we've finally got some merch out, bro. Look at that. I'm wearing the official Cycling Collab podcast T-shirt.
Nice.
Will be available for sale coming shortly to you, but just keep your eyes peeled for that.
Sick.
What else is going on, Reon?
I'm not actually sure. I keep losing concentration because we've got two hitters in the
We
house.
have got two hitters in the house. You've been thrown by this. It's like having a set of dancing girls in here, isn't it? Your
much.
attention is nowhere.
That's right. That's right.
Before we get on to these two hitters, let's just have a quick whip around the old news of the world and a couple of special items in this one. First of all, the race. Christchurch's one-day cycle race from Christchurch to Akaroa.
Yeah, which is a badass race.
Badass race, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And actually, we've got course record holder as well sitting here with us, haven't we? But anyway, we've had a bit of a call up and been asked just to throw it out there just in case anybody's won the lottery this week. But Cherie needs a sponsor. We need a title sponsor for the race. It's a really important race that we need to make sure continues to carry on here in Canterbury. It's produced some outstanding rides, some outstanding riders. From the front at Michael Vink's level all the way to the back to those people that have ticked it off as their big challenge for the year. Plenty of people set the race as their challenge as to what they're going to train for and what they're going to do. So please spread the word. That's right.
100%.
A little bit of an odd one from out there. I see EF Education have sent a couple of termination letters out to a couple of their riders in the last week for, I guess, wearing the EF kit while riding
Eastworks.
Well, yes, one was a giant, one was a specialized, wasn't it?
Everyone's a giant anyway.
Two riders.
Jokes.
Two riders that are off contract, essentially, have signed with another team for next year, but haven't quite completed their commitments to EF Education, being caught on the old social media writing something that they shouldn't be. So interesting there. What does that mean? I guess it means that EF cut their salary as of now, does it? Is that what happens?
Well, I think they made a statement like that. They said they were going, they're cut, they're terminating contract. But I think they've come back around and maybe said, nah, they're not going to do that anymore. So I think, but they hit them pretty hard straight away publicly. Well, they kind of have to respect their team sponsors and their contracts and stuff like that. But now they've kind of come back and says, we're still going to support the boys. But like, you don't see that very much. Well, I haven't seen it very much about. Well, you see riders changing teams and going on team camps from, like, say if you're on Quick Step and you're going to EF Education, them still turning up on sometimes they're allowed to ride the bike at that stage, but they're still wearing the kit that they're contracted to wear and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. I think one of your mates did a video, and he was on the Specialized on some sort of charity ride or whatever it was.
And that was the thing, right? It was a charity ride that he was on.
Still though, contract's a contract.
Contract's a contract.
Come on, mate.
Doesn't seem to mean much in the world these days. I wouldn't have thought.
It's a bit of a grey area, I think, because like it's a contract, but then it's kind of okay at the end of the year if it's late enough, you know. So for riders, it's kind of hard. But I think as long as you've got races left and you've still got to represent your contracted sponsor, then
And I'm guessing if you're like leaving one team going to the other, you're on the team camp. It's like you need to get set up on your bike. They're doing bike setups, and you need to get your cleat position, your seat height, So it makes sense to get on the team bike.
Particularly with early season races now, like racing in January now. So there's not really much turnaround to get stuff sorted. So
100%.
you've got to be on the ball.
See, this is what
Look at that. The expert.
We've got a new producer.
I know how to work this thing, Reon. I know how to work all the controls and the microphones and things.
You don't know that.
Michael here seems to have all the information. I'm just trying to wonder.
What do you got, Reon? Where are you here?
I got Ella Vink's bottle from Bailey's. That's what I got.
I'm wondering whether your seat's actually in jeopardy there, and whether there'll be a new contract handed out next year.
Campbell, eh?
Just
ready to go. Yeah.
I'm fucking out. God, everyone's got results here but me. This is all good. Yeah. I did win Canterbury Champs one time, though.
Did you? What year was that?
10 on the start line. A couple of 8-year-olds, a few 10-year-olds. Put them in the gutter.
Any photos from that one? Or?
I got a few photos.
You were
we haven't seen any.
You were 26, were you?
Hey, back to news of the world, mate. Fuck me. Pretty much.
Just finally, because I think we do need to crack on with our podcast tonight, but just finally, Campbell Stewart, fresh from the Tour of Southland, Black Spoke there, has signed with Team Bike Exchange. That's pretty exciting for him, eh?
I think so. Yeah, I think he'll do really well in that team. Real good squad, good setup. Lots of track riders. I think he'll slot in really well. So cool for him.
And he showed his class in Southland Day.
Oh.
Like, when I watched the sprints, you could clearly see he was a fucking class above the rest.
Yeah,
like
different level. Different level.
Just like smoking it like a club race. Like, I'm just going to win this, boys, to catch up. I mean, obviously hard work, teamwork went into it, but still clearly fucking won the sprint easy. Like World Tour power, just like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fuck, had a wicked another Kiwi in the pro peloton.
Well, yeah, that's right. But, one of the things is that, I can say Green Edge because that's what they formerly were, weren't they, really? It's what everyone remembers them as, I guess, as Green Edge. But such a cool team too, like Australian Jerry Ryan putting that team together. And I see they've just completed their 10th year in the peloton, which actually surprised me a bit that they'd actually been there that long. It doesn't seem like it's been that long since they introduced there, but they've done some pretty cool things over their time.
Yeah, and a good Kiwi flavour as well, which is quite cool.
Julian Dean's involved, eh?
Julian Dean involved as well, and the riders as well. There's a few in there. So
who are the riders? Cool. Sam Bewley.
Yeah.
You got the ex-Kiwi, but Aussie, but I call him Kiwi.
Rob Stannard.
You
got Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer, fucking nearly won that
and
stays in Tour de France.
Dion Smith, is
Dion
he?
Smith, Dion Smith, yeah.
There's a few.
Fuck, I think that might be it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Pretty wicked though, eh?
But still, it's good.
Yeah.
Good numbers from the Kiwis in there.
Yeah,
so.
and now Campbell Stewart. Savage.
Yeah, I think that's
excellent.
And
the Kiwi girl on the girls team is New Zealand champion
Georgia Williams.
Yeah, Georgia Williams. Yeah.
Great input, Campbell.
He's got a sign. He's writing things on whiteboards for me because I can't read, write, spell, whatever.
Righto. Well, let's move along because what we came for was our two special guests here, and we want to get in amongst it and see how the 2021 SBS Bank Tour of Southland unfolded. Of course, first up, we're gonna put Michael Vink through the Spanish Inquisition here. Michael Vink, if you don't know, let's see if I can give him a bit of an introduction, but I'm sure he's going to correct us and can fill us in there. But turning pro, Michael, 2010, was it? Subway?
Yeah, it might have even been 2009. I think it was quite early, I think I was 17.
Yeah.
Back then you could sign as a 17-year-old. I think now you had to be 18, 19.
Wicked.
Right.
Yeah.
So started young, Subway Avanti team there, went on to the Trek Livestrong team.
Yep, that's right, yep.
So that was a development team, was it?
Yeah, development team to what was then Radio Shack. So the same management company, and the Radio Shack's teams changed a few years and eventually became the Astana team that it is now. So it's been under various different guises, but definitely a good setup. Lots of Kiwis been through there, and cool setup run by Axel Merckx.
Yeah. But a couple of seasons with budget forklifts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with the boys. Yeah.
So a bit of a ticky tour.
Dan Barry rode for that team.
Yeah, he did. Sam Horgan as well. Yeah,
Sam
been
Horgan,
a few Kiwis.
right.
Yeah.
What? Oh fuck! What did Horgan win over there? The big race.
The Melbourne to Warrnambool. Yeah, I was there that day. Yeah.
He won it, and then he next year came back and got second. I think. He tried
it was close. Yeah.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
That was a cool day. That was an awesome day.
That was a stomping team budget for it.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Sort of one of the memorable days, is it?
Yeah, it was one of those days, not to go too much into, but one of those days where like 50 Ks to go, we were down and out. We had no one up the road, a group of 10 gone, and we're all kind of, relatively far. I think I was the only one in the front group or the next group. I think group, a group had attacked off and we were like, shit, what do we do here? Eventually boys came back one by one and the guys just got better and better and better. And, after 250 odd Ks, the boys started pushing and we ended up with 1, 2, 3. So
suck.
Cool
bad.
Then on to Champion Systems.
Yep.
So with that, where was that controlled from? Champion Systems.
It was a Taiwanese setup, I think.
right.
Yeah.
Matt Zenovich, Ryan
Matt's-
Wills, and
yep.
another Kiwi rope. Oh,
Yeah.
Was
who's
there another one?
Yeah, there was another young guy. He jumped on it after.
Oh, Josh
you.
Haggerty.
Yeah, Haggerty
Yeah,
was on
that's
there.
right.
I've got 3 of their cards with their, you get the photo taken and
Yeah,
signed,
yeah,
and
yeah.
their weights and stuff. I've
Yeah,
still got the
yeah.
cards, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't got
Interesting.
yours though.
No, yeah.
Didn't get
I
sent
think
out.
I got a few.
Yeah,
I might have probably
savage.
given them all out, all the fans.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't give me enough.
At the bus exchange in
Yeah.
town, eh?
Yeah. With your
Sick.
phone number on the back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Brisbane Continental Cycling Team, and then for the last 3 years, you've been on the St George Continental Cycling Team, based out of Australia.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
That's right.
And there's a good mix of Kiwis and Aussies again.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's generally tends to be about roughly 50-50.
Yeah, yeah.
So a good setup and good racing and traveling all around Asia and
Yeah.
other parts of the world, and just a really good setup that's sort of grown slowly and
Yeah.
sort of built its legs, built its relationships,
Yeah.
and is now doing some pretty cool stuff. So
What was the tour that you raced in? Dylan Kennett one? Was UCI?
Tour of Tahoe Lake.
Yeah, where were you on GC? You were around there, but he was
Oh.
up there. He got over the climb. I remember
Yeah,
he's got dropped from the front group there, but he's chased. Obviously worked for him, of course. and
it's
he won the
a
tour.
cool race because you got a prologue to begin with
Yeah,
of
yeah.
maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5K. So
Which
it's
suits him.
it's real. It might have been a bit longer.
Yeah.
Then every day after that sprints. So if you have a good prologue
Yeah, yeah,
and you can finish in the bunch every day, which most people can, then you can
Yeah.
get a good result.
yeah. Now,
So
what
it's all done on time bonuses.
was
so.
Tom Hubbard in that team?
Nah,
Was he
not
there?
that year, nah.
year before.
Yeah,
maybe,
it was
but
before. Yeah.
What was the prize money of that tour? Was it shit hot? Good.
Oh, it was.
Right?
I can't remember what it was,
It was
but
good.
it was good. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I think it was like 250,000 US all up for the whole tour. 300,000.
You find those Chinese
crazy, eh?
races in the adventure racing world and in the cycling world, they pay good money, and that's why a lot of people go there, right?
Pretty
Yeah, you
wicked,
put
eh?
the money up and the people will come.
Yeah,
that's
well,
the way they do it.
often they pay for the teams to come too.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure if that was happening in
Yeah,
your case.
So
or-
we
flights,
get that
accommodation.
with Asia as well.
Yeah.
The team will sit the race organizer will say we'll give you 10 grand to come up and we'll come and do our race. We show
Mate.
up and then
Work it.
everything's provided, and that covers flights and
And-
bits and pieces. So
And that year was that's 2019 we're talking about at the Lake Tahoe race there. You were 5th overall in the GC
Yep.
there, and also in that same year you were 5th at the Tour of, how do you say that, Fuzhou, is it?
Fuzhou, yeah, yeah.
Fuzhou.
yeah,
So
yeah.
2019 was actually a pretty successful year for you, tiki touring around
A lot
over
of
there.
racing. and
Yeah,
we
a
looked it
lot
up.
of really good racing, which was
Yeah.
cool. Lots of opportunities. Quite different racing as well. I think I was
Yeah.
still probably my second year on the team there.
Yeah.
So still sort of, but I think that was the year I sort of got a feel for it. The first year was just sort of a bit of learning and
Yeah. got
seeing
ya.
how things went. And then the next
Yeah.
year I sort of hit my stride a wee bit,
Sick.
had some good results. But it's tough racing over there as well. You know,
Yeah,
you put up the money and the good teams come. So
Yeah.
plenty of pro Conti teams and some of the world's best. So
All right, just to jump in there, what year did you win New Zealand Cycle Classic? It was a while ago, eh? Am I right?
oh yeah, it was a while ago.
Was
Yeah,
it 14? Nah, that
Oh,
might be a guess. You
might have been something like that.
Yeah. Because I thought it was
Sounds about
recent.
right.
I thought
it was budget
recent.
forklifts. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So Oram got second, and another Aussie, I think, got third on GC. But yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. Fuck, that was a wicked race to win.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
A trip down memory lane
Yeah,
here with Michael.
I think
Vink.
I was there. I just remember the Drapac was racing. I just remember the Red Army used to turn up. Mate, these guys are fucking hitters, eh? Big beasts of men and budget forklift. These Aussie teams come over with. It's just in the bunch, eh? You're quite scared,
it was
mate.
cool. It was cool that year because
Yeah.
they had a prologue to begin with. So I won the prologue
I come off.
by like 6 seconds or something.
Yeah.
And we defended a 6-second lead all the way through the week. And the last day was the hilltop finish.
Yeah.
And I was coming to the hilltop finish like, shit, these boys
Yeah.
have defended me all week, ridden the front.
Yeah.
I can't get dropped on this hilltop. you know, and then-
Sick. Bro, do you know that same TT? I had a good TT because it's quite short. I don't know if that's year, but it was like a 3K TT, and it's like kind of out and back carpet. I come
yeah, it
off
was
on the
like an out
corner,
and back, yeah.
unclipped, bro, and I was
Oh, no.
I was going good. I think I might have got like 16th, 17th, which is shit, but good for me. But I had unclipped, couldn't get in. But I was, and who actually? Another mate of mine got on the podium there as well, just for that TT. But I was like, fuck, it can be done, eh?
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, good race. We'll cover that when it
thought
comes up.
So back home, Michael, you've been at the front of the field in the national scene since way back when Adam was a cowboy, 2008ish or something, as a junior.
Who the fuck is Adam, bro? I was
Like,
like,
come on next week.
there's a truck driver.
well, he
saying.
was-
I
he-
love it. Yeah.
Adam was a cowboy.
Yeah,
was a
Adam
cowboy.
Bull. Where's Adam Bull these
Yeah.
days? Anyway, I talked to him the other day. Actually.
Surprise
Little
guest.
Yeah, surprise guest. He pops up.
So you won the junior individual time trial in 2008 national champs.
Yep.
Then as an under 23, you've run multiple road races, national road champs, individual time trial champs. Also as the elite, you've won the road race and the individual time trial. 2012 was it? You were both the under 23 and elite.
Oh wait,
road
I've got
champion
to say
and
something,
individual-
bro. So this is like controversial, this one, because actually they I don't know, they fucked up because you're at the front, you were under 23, right?
Yeah.
And you won the race outright.
Yep.
But the other boys, the seniors were back, and then anyway, this dude won the race, but he actually didn't get the national jersey. They changed the rule after.
So, they didn't change the rule. What they changed their interpretation of the rule.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like they were doing what they thought was right.
That's
it was
right.
unfair, kind of unfair on me, kind of unfair on James that won it as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Oh,
there was
James
no right
Williamson.
decision,
Yeah,
because
sorry,
he thought he
gotcha.
was racing a different race.
That's
After
right.
I was racing a different race, what do you do?
Yeah, it's like I know I raised that because in Canterbury Champs, we've got under 23s and elites, and then under 23 go up the road by themselves, and all the elite guys just sit up because there's no point chasing them because it's like because there's two races in one, so it was that whole mixed up fucking kind of thing. So yeah, that's right. James Williamson won. Weapon. Yeah, so
Cool.
A while ago now.
It's like
Again, thanks for reminding me.
yeah.
So let's just box through a couple of other quick notable things here.
Box them through, mate.
Obviously, the race, you've won that, set the course record 3 times. Have you there? Would that be right? You reset the course record 3 times?
They had a different with the earthquakes. They changed
true
the
that.
start as well.
True
So,
that.
So he cheated with that one.
True
So,
that. True that.
This
So
year,
you
last year-
hold multiple course records in. Is that what we're saying?
Unofficial ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
but going back to seriousness, you turned up one year, proper TT helmet, skin suit, everything ready to set the record. I remember that. Set the record. Put them in their place. Put them.
I didn't have a choice with the TT helmet, did I? I would look like a real dick if I didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck
if I didn't.
Anton Cooper. How did Anton Cooper? I mean, he's a pro, one of the best, of course. But how the fuck did he hold your wheel? I was like, this is out the gate. I was
Mario Kart down the bastard. I reckon.
Yeah.
It was full gas. So
that's
two of us left.
insane.
So.
Yeah, fuck, that's wicked descending from Anton Cooper. Savage.
Well, you'd think that that would be his forte
true.
there on the descent. And,
that's right.
Quite aggressively
That's
there.
right. That's right. Good ride.
It's not all about the road for you, though. You have successfully won the Pioneer mountain bike stage with Tim Rush.
Yeah.
Twice.
Twice,
Don't
yeah.
forget twice.
Yeah. Oh,
Fucking hell, that's $10,000
Just
prize.
throw that
mate.
bit of paper out of the way.
$5,000 each one, eh?
Yeah,
That's awesome,
something
mate.
like that,
Kate's won that twice too, so you're
Oh,
nothing
is she?
special,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. Oh, so she's not special.
No, she's not special.
Hang on
mate.
a minute.
Gotta
Real?
win it 3 times, mate.
Careful
Oh,
what
they'll
you say.
cancel the race.
And of course, what we're actually all here to talk about is you're now 3-time Tour of Southland champion.
Yeah, fucking oath, bro.
In the
That's
house.
awesome. I call it 4-time, but we won't say that. 3-time.
Well, so first of all, I just want to say, let's go Tour of Southland now, and let's say, look, a big congratulations, yellow jersey,
Thank you.
absolutely stunning. We've had a really quick just run through there of who Michael Vink is, all his accolades, but I think this little clip here, I'm just going to play a little clip, a little sound bite, because I think this probably sums up Michael Vink.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just Michael Vink. I'm not a Ralston or a Fowler or any of those guys, but certainly, I have so much respect for those guys, and I grew up watching the tour, watching them win, and lucky enough to have ridden for the likes of Hayden Ralston in the past, and he certainly helped me a lot and passed on a lot of his knowledge, and now I'm doing the same thing to the guys on my team.
Awesome.
I think that sums it up right. Such a humble man.
Yeah.
You know.
Bro, Mike, just on that, was your first Tour of Southland ride? Were you on Rolly's team?
No, I was
No,
on
you
the
weren't.
Southland times that he's ridden for in the past. I think it was maybe my third
Gotcha.
or fourth.
Yeah. Okay.
Might have even been fifth. I've done a few now, so it's easy to
wicked.
forget. So
Yeah, wicked. Sick.
So you remember your first?
I do remember my first. Yep, with the Southland times.
Yeah.
I would have been. I think I was 17. I think you could ride as a 17-year-old back then.
Wicked.
And how do you remember that first start, stage 1? Do you remember being on there?
I remember parts of it. I remember because it was third up Bluff Hill,
Yeah,
which is
wicked.
pretty cool.
Fuck,
I almost
yeah.
had it as well. I went up the road with
Really?
the guy Jonathan Atkinson.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
infamous
Eki.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Atkinson.
oh yeah, man.
30k out. He
You're
attacked
kidding
and
me.
he said, "Come with me, bro. Come with me." I was like, "Oh, righto." We get to the bottom of the hill.
No shit.
He drops back. I'm thinking, shit, what do I do here? I guess I
Yeah.
just better ride as hard as I can.
Wicked.
I'm going up the hill, the last corner with like 300 to go. I'm still in front. Get maybe 50 meters further. You see Jack Bauer come past.
No shit.
Looked like he was in the big ring, honestly.
Yeah, wicked.
Absolute monster. And then with
Holy
Heath
fuck.
Blackgrove on the wheel.
No shit.
So I was probably 100 meters away from winning a stage. So
Wow, that's dope.
it was
Holy
pretty cool.
shit.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
That's a great way to start.
That was
isn't it?
stage 1 as well back then.
No, on day 1,
Yeah,
Bluff Hill.
because we used to have the prologue in the morning. It was 2 laps back then
No shit.
around Queen's Park, and then Bluff Hill in the afternoon.
Oh, that's out the gate.
Oh,
That's
when-
awesome, mate.
yeah.
Bit of history there.
Yeah.
Mean.
So how did you go for the rest of the tour? Like, did you spend all your pennies on that Bluff Hill on
I
that
was,
first
I
day?
think,
Or
9th overall.
oh,
So I was all right.
Hell.
Yeah.
Impressive.
That's
Lost
pretty
to
cool.
particularly on a small team too, because no one really knew what to do. That was probably the
Yeah,
hardest thing. So we couldn't
yeah.
ride at the front, and You know, like if you're a young guy on a good team, it's a lot easier. But back then with us battlers on the Southland times, it was pretty tough. But no, it's good.
Yeah.
And that'll come up later on about having a strong team around you and riders, experienced riders knowing what to do, good management, good DSs and all that type of thing. Epic, then a composite team or, that type of thing.
Everyone starts there, so. Yeah.
Gnarly. So going on to this year's Tour of Southland, bro, how were you, when you seen the start list, were you like quietly, I mean, we all know that crashes happen, you can get sick and all those types, but were you quietly, you're like, fuck, I've got this, or, did you have that, like, not arrogance at all, but like that kind of like self-belief, like, fuck, I think I've got this, like looking at the start list, you back yourself in the TT and and the team that you're going to bring as well?
Yeah, I think when you've got the legs, you know about it.
Yeah,
and you know that what you've got is at that level. I mean, there's always a lot of variables, like you say. You never know what can happen, but if you got the legs, you got the team, you got the experience, then you need to back yourself. And it's a race where it's really important to back yourself. So you can't go in there thinking, oh shit, I need to have a bit of luck, or I need to have a bit of this or a bit of that. You got to be in there saying, this year's my year, I'm going to win. You got to ride like that. So
and fully confident in your team as well that you're the riders.
Absolutely, It was, to be honest, it was quite hard to get the squad together because of COVID and things.
Got you.
Things being changed around, and we were originally going to get some Aussies over as well, but then we sort of pulled the pin on that as well, and sort of tried to find 6 good guys, and we got, I think, 3 quite easily, but then trying to get the last 3 was a bit of a struggle, but in the end, they pulled together perfectly, and we couldn't have got 6 better guys.
So this is something I actually had for later on, but we're here now, so let's go. Who's controlling putting the team together? Are you building the team around you for the win? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, mostly me. I mean, sometimes, if there's a sponsor or someone that's involved with one of, someone that's supporting us, then we can bring riders on that they recommend, which is always good. I mean, you got to do what's right by the sponsors, and and they're often good guys as well. You don't sign someone just because it's the sponsor's son or whatever.
That's right.
Often, the sponsor supports certain riders, and bring them on because they've got a relationship with them, which is good. But pretty much. I mean, generally it's up to me. Which is cool, but for me it's about both sort of team culture and team spirit as well as the form, and it's easy to pick a team on paper, but you got to know the guys as well.
That's right.
But in saying that, we had a really good manager with Brendan Ackroyd and Steve Keast. They know, they put some names out there, and we sort of all put our 2 cents in, and we came up with a good team. So it was really good. Pretty much everyone I asked pretty much said yes. Straight away, which was cool. So
and like a pretty big step up in my view anyway, for what's his name, James from Oxford. He's been over in Europe racing, doing some racing over there, and his second Southland, I think, and then straight into a Tour of Southland GC focused team to as a roller to help out as well. So, and I said to you a while ago, we were talking about him, it's actually good to get like a younger guy to bring in, to put under pressure in a good way, so he gains and learns from the Tour of Southland for his future as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Tour de France, it's not all about winning, it's always good to get, for other people to get stuff out of the race as well, and that's the way I like to lead a team. I like to give everyone else opportunities.
100%.
So then when the time comes that I ask for something, they give 100% for me, as if I would for them if they wanted to win a stage or go on a breakaway or whatever.
100%.
So I definitely like to sort of share around and do that. But young James had a really good tour, I think. Lots of the time with Tour of Southland, it's about giving people jobs. Whether it's be at the front here, or we want you to do the section on the front, or go get bottles here, and you give people jobs, and they feel good about themselves because they've achieved something.
That's right.
Rather than just sort of floating around the bunch trying not to get dropped.
100%.
Which is cool because lots of people are going to get dropped anyway. But if you get dropped having done your job for the team, led into a gravel section, led through a gravel section, given someone a wheel, you feel good about it, and you get up the next day thinking, shit, I've done my job.
100%.
I'm here for a reason.
And just to go through kind of your team as well. So would you sum it up? I'll sum up your team. So Mike Phillips is obviously a big, strong beast, right? On the flat. So he can roll for a number 380 watts for over an hour. So break goes, you can rely on him for big, strong watts in the peloton. And again, it's his first Tour of Southland as well. So again, my words, under a little bit of pressure, the unknown, the fear of the unknown, what's going to go on, crosswinds, can he handle it? Like, he's obviously a weapon. And then, he's done well, right?
Yeah, and super fit as well. Like, lots of the guys, like, anyone can be good for a couple of days, but you need guys that are good in that sort of fifth and sixth days, which is him. Definitely he can recover well, and he's a class athlete. He knows about his nutrition and his recovery and all that sort of stuff, and
very professional,
all that sort of thing. So, and also, you tell him what to do, and he's going to listen.
And I would kind of put him in the, like, obviously the strong dude, and then you got Harvey. James Harvey. He's got a bit of a kick on him as well, and likes to get up the road. And I've seen, like, a lot of these guys were up the road looking at stages, but the race was always about you as well. But so it's quite cool to see there. But again, bloody nice guy, knows how to ride a bike, got a good engine, ex-roller, I believe.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
right. Yeah,
Yep.
likes to do everything, which is cool. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
You know, he's a bit of a sprinter, but also a strong sprinter as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to
Yeah.
rein him in and say, "Don't follow the moves, mate. Just sit back and save your legs for the kick." So.
Yeah, and I was talking to him, and I was like, "How cool it was that his first Tour of Southland last year, after the team's time trial, he got fucking yellow."
That's pretty cool, though.
First,
How many people
Southland,
can say that? Like,
bro? I know. I was blown away by that. And then you go into Ethan Batt. Fuck.
oh, absolute like.
Yeah.
Like everyone was awesome, but like Ethan in the critical moments, he was
right.
my right hand man.
Yeah, and that's what we
Been
talked
there for
about,
me in
right?
the past too. Like,
yeah,
you know, when crunch time comes down, you know, the race is split to bits. There's only 10 guys left.
yeah,
You need someone with you there.
yeah, and
to
he's fully
shut stuff
capable.
down
Yeah.
and just to keep the tempo as well.
Yeah,
Because often it's just about someone riding to keep tempo,
Yeah.
keeping it above, you know, 40, 45k an hour. So if someone attacks, they're not going to just sail away.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
that was him. He could just ride the front all day, particularly in those last critical moments. And
100%. And then the other weapon on the team, Keith.
yeah, Hamish Keith's super impressive, eh? Like he's always been known as, you know, the big ox, the big strong guy.
Yeah,
But now he's actually riding quite smart as well.
yeah, gotcha.
And which is really cool to see. Like he's learning from it. And I think, you know, having ridden in our team for a few years, I've sort of tried to pass on what I've learned. And this year I saw him taking things on himself and not having to ask as many questions and just doing stuff, which was really cool. Like that gave me a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah.
So I think he's one to watch for the future for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I actually thought he was going to win Twizel or Timaru, and then I seen that he didn't, but he was stuck in a small ring.
Yeah.
And the last, and
Beast,
he still,
absolute
still got fifth or whatever he got. And I
Yeah.
was like, fuck, still there ripping it. And I was like, imagine if it's in the big ring. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's a pretty, if I was on that team or those guys are riding for me, like, you've got a lot of trust, you know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So, yeah, kudos to the team selectors and the boys for riding as well.
Well, that's right. Kudos to the riders, but you know, kudos to you for putting that together in the first place as well. Because as we know, you can't get to the finish and can't wear a yellow jersey without them. So much respect in your court. Obviously, as you said, nobody said no. They all said yes straight away. It just goes to show the amount of respect within the peloton for yourself.
Yeah,
there.
you know, just going on to the stages now, bro. So if we just like talk about the prologue and the crit. So was it for you like let's just get these done? Like, obviously ride full gas, but keep it safe because you're riding for GC the whole week's still to come, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely no risks on the first 2 days and just sort of suss things out. You know, you get the feel for the bunch, and particularly with COVID stuff, like it was a smaller field.
Yeah,
everyone sort of felt closer to the front because it was a smaller field, so everyone thought like they were in with a chance. I think in the kicks and things. So you had to be quite sort of, I guess, cautious about that and realize that halfway through the bunch was sort of 30th wheel, not 50th wheel, you know. So you had to sort of be a bit more onto it with that.
Yeah, 100%. And were you happy with how you felt and how the team went and rode in the opening day?
Yeah, 100%. Like it was pretty wet for obviously the prologue and the crit. Which is always can be a bit sketchy, but I just told the boys no risk. Let's just get through, even if we give up a few seconds. Like, let's just get through. Today's not the day to win the tour.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's what they did. Like the prologue was super smooth. Like we never really were going to have the horsepower to challenge the likes of Black Spoke.
Yeah,
you know, because they've got the likes of Campbell Stewart, who's one of the best in the world over 4K.
100%.
But it's about knowing our place and doing a good ride within ourselves. And I think we rode perfectly, like super smooth. It was one of those ones where you get to the finish and didn't feel that hard because it was so smooth.
Yeah,
it's always the ones that feel super hard that aren't as fast because you're just constantly chasing wheels, closing gaps, sort of trying to shut things down. And those are always the scrappy ones, but it was just perfect. Yeah,
wicked. And if we just go on to that gravel stage, if we go back, so we talked about when I heard there was a gravel stage in Tour of Southland, bro, I was like, fuck, whoever wins that, you got history right there, you know, bro. It's like, you know, and then I guess our question to you is like, when you heard there was a gravel stage and it was basically stage one in our view, were you like, fuck, I want to win that? And you looked at the course. Did you do any like pre-work or team?
Had you seen the gravel sections before?
No, I hadn't. No, we talked about it, but I think it was quite like a 3-hour round trip in the car to do it.
Yeah, gotcha.
But in saying that, like, you know, if you're at the front, you can see what's in front of you.
Gotcha.
And the key thing is to be at the front. Like,
I was just going to say, is that what you guys talked about? You said like we need to be on the front at every gravel section.
Yeah, 100%. I think I was first wheel the entire time through the first one, and then pretty much second wheel the whole way through the next one.
And who was first wheel when you're on second wheel?
Ethan Batt, the man, like honestly, like that was that turn he pulled was incredible.
Well, that photo, Gus, I sent it to you. I was like, because we talked about him, I was like, this man is crucial, and because we talked about he's on Black Spoke, but he's riding for you in Black Spoke, and we're like, nah. I was like, no, this dude's like an honourable, like lieutenant. You want to go to war with someone like this, you know? And then when we seen the photo, I sent it to the bro, and I was like, see, critical moment, ripping, and second wheel was you. You know what I mean?
But the whole team as well, like James Krasnich as well, like pulled into. I think I was sitting maybe third, fourth wheel. The whole team was sort sitting in the bunch, and then with sort of a K to go,
Yeah.
everyone kind of just appeared at the front in the right position. I didn't have to tell anyone to move up or
Yeah, gotcha.
put my hand up. Everyone turned, and then all of a sudden James pulls this ripper turn into the gravel.
Yeah.
Didn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
He just saw the boys were there, pulled the
Work
turn,
it.
50 meters before, checks out, and then
Work it.
we get in the gravel section first.
Yeah,
Just
and
perfect.
so
And did
No,
Reon,
you go,
did
you-
nobody argue that? Did nobody else did Black Spoke not want that role? Did they?
I think because the team was so committed, like no one else was prepared to sacrifice a guy, or no other rider was prepared to sacrifice their stage, their day
gotcha.
to get their whole team in the front.
Yeah,
And that's the
gotcha.
thing with team spirit. You know, if you really want to, go into war with or go into
Yeah.
battle with the guy behind you, and you really want him to win,
Yeah.
you'll do that sort of thing without being asked. And that's the
Yeah.
part of the thing with building team spirit. Each
Yeah.
guy's got to want the
Yeah.
guy with them
Vital.
with the same jersey to
Yeah.
win. So
How good, eh?
Yeah,
How fucking
real
good.
good.
And then, so tell us, so the break's away. You're at before the last gravel section. Am I right? And how do you remember what the gap was out to? Was it over 2 minutes at that
it
stage?
was a fair bit. It might have been,
Yeah.
it might have been 3 minutes.
Might have been
might
more,
have been more, 3-4
Yeah.
minutes. I was
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah. And then your plan was to win the stage and shut it down.
No, not really. Like the plan was never to win any stages. To be honest, the
Yeah.
plan was always to get yellow. I mean,
Wow.
you always want to win stages, but
Yeah.
obviously with the climbs, like probably the Remarkables is one where you kind of have to win the stage to get
Yeah.
a jersey anyway.
Gotcha.
But the gravel again, being early in the tour, one of
Yeah.
the earlier days,
Yeah.
and with a bit of unknown with the gravel, it's about getting through and not losing any time.
Gotcha.
Generally, you don't win the tour on the first day.
Yeah.
So just getting through, no punches, no issues, no
Gotcha.
dramas.
Now, there was a moment there where actually Gus goes, you actually messaged me. He's like, nah, what was it? It was Campbell Short and Yellow. And then you had Ethan and James Harvey with him, and you would split them off, and then they weren't rolling, and then you were going up the road, and I think you had 2 or 3 other riders with him.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
then I think Bailey punched it in the gravel, eh? Did he punch it? Yes, and he got a flat, I think, which was pretty shit for Bailey. But I seen you dropping them kind of one by one, and the Fush was up the road. Was he the last man to get dropped there?
Nah, so what happened is that basically the front group formed after the last gravel section.
Yeah.
And there was the break up the road. I think there was only 3 of them left at that point
Yeah,
because there was originally 5 or 6, but a few of them had got pinged for
Yeah.
punches and
Yeah,
whatnot. And then it was crosswind straight away after the last
Juicy.
gravel section.
Fuck.
So we came off. There was a select group. There was probably only like 5 of us.
Yeah.
Well, there might have even been a couple more that got pinged as well.
Yeah.
Straight into crosswind. We just done this gravel section at warp speed, come off into crosswind. Everyone had to keep rolling.
Yeah.
And we were bringing the bunch back pretty quick, and they were almost within sight at this point.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then Ethan sort of sat on and missed a few turns, and I thought, oh shit, maybe he's not feeling that good.
Yeah,
Like, I got to
yeah.
look after him. He's just pulled a ripper turn
Yeah.
through the gravel. So I sort of, had my eye on Ethan, making sure he was all right. And then all of a sudden he comes flying up the inside of the bunch,
Sick.
and the crosswind in the gutter.
Fuck.
And you can see him going. He got a good gap real quick, and you can see the break was just there. And I considered, he's probably going to make that.
Yeah.
And the break was probably 45 seconds, a minute ahead.
Yeah.
And then he got away. No one went after him. And I thought, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, a couple of guys decided, I'd probably better chase that. I sat on. After a couple of turns, I put him in the gutter.
Yeah, boy.
And then went
Put him
across.
in the gut. And that's that teamwork, right? So Ethan was like, okay, if I go, they're going to have to chase. I'm going to bring Vink Dog with me. And then you went, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you're not always in a situation, particularly in crosswinds and echelons like that, to be able to talk to people.
Yeah,
It's not always that easy.
Yeah,
Like you always want to keep the team together just so you can.
Yeah.
You can tell them if you need something, you want them to do something. It's
Yeah.
always good to have people in earshot.
Yeah.
But when it's all split up like that and everyone's kind of tired and there's crosswinds and you can barely hear with the wind anyway.
Yeah.
But he just took it on himself and he knew what to do and
Yeah.
he perfectly set that up 100%.
Yeah, wicked.
Just going back to that moment you were talking about, where Campbell Stewart was
Yeah.
left with your 2 lads there. What it showed on the television was that exact the importance of a team and how that was going on there. And for those that probably don't understand the importance of a team and just turn that up, but what's going on there, Campbell was obviously desperate to try and get back or find someone to work with him to get back to you. He could already probably see that time was getting away and Vink was up the road. And here were the only 2 people that were with him off your team, not willing to give. That must be so frustrating.
Yeah, it was hard because you didn't really know what he was riding for that day. Is he going for GC? Is he going for the bunch kick? Like, is he trying to sit up and slow the bunch down so his leaders can get back to us?
Yeah, good point.
So I was trying to work that out as well. And you kind of, the way you ride you can sort of bring those things out. You do a small attack, you could see if they follow or not. And based on what they do, you can kind of work out what their plan is.
Yeah.
And he seemed like he was pretty defensive, just trying to keep it together. So I don't think he wanted to go up the road or particularly, have a go that day. So I think he was pretty keen to get the other guys back and just keep the team together. So
and again, talking about Ethan again. Fuck. So you've got Ethan riding for Michael, and his teammate, who is Olympic silver medalist and on his team Black Spoke, but he's still choosing to put himself on the line for Michael. So again, to have a trusted teammate to be doing that, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, it just shows the class of the guy. Like,
just
really does.
On that, how do you go about getting him to ride for your team when he's contracted to Black Spoke? How does that? Do you have to approach Black Spoke and go, "Hey, we want Ethan to ride for us"? Or
it was a bit of a funny story because I think, well, not really funny story, but Black Spoke weren't originally going to put a team in for various reasons. I think they were quite late coming back with MIQ and things, and there was all a bit kind of hard. And then there was questions about the tour if it was going to go ahead. And there wasn't really that many riders that were keen for the team because they'd just come back from a long season.
Yeah.
And I think they sort of, put their hands up and just said, "Oh, we just can't do the tour this year."
Gotcha.
And then, of course, I got messages from a couple of the boys in the team, Ethan and Logan, saying, "Oh, we're not doing the tour with Black Spoke anymore. Do you have a spot left?" And I said, "Oh, I kind of thought that might happen. I kind of saved a couple of spots for you two." So I was licking my chops then. I thought we were great. We were golden. So and then obviously last minute, a couple of guys decided they did want to ride the tour from the team.
Gotcha.
And it was I sort of messaged Scott, the director from Black Spoke, and said, "Oh, could you at least just let us keep Ethan?" Because obviously it's hard to find, obviously hard enough to fill one spot at short notice, let alone two. And luckily, one very generously of him, he said yes. So
shit, that's awesome.
Don't know what it's about the decision now, but
that's
we'll
awesome.
take it.
And bro, going on, so you went solo, and it was obviously a fucking crazy block headwind. Now tell me about the power. What was your average power in the last 10K you were solo, and what was your speed?
I don't know. Like I looked at
slow.
There was a segment. I think it was a flat bit of road. It was. What was it? It was maybe like 20 minutes long, half an hour long, something like that. And I averaged 380 watts for like half an hour.
Yeah.
And I did 31 km average on a flat bit of road.
That's slow as hell. For
like
for that amount of power.
Ridiculous.
It just shows you how strong the wind was, right?
Oh, sounds like the West Coast wilderness, doesn't it?
Yeah, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
The last 20K was literally just block headwind.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, it was like that.
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
that's what I was saying, bro.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it meant the rain. Sorry. Yeah. Fuck.
It's crazy,
You clearly knew you were going to win the stage, though, or
no, because as soon as we caught the breakaway, there was I think because Ollie Jones and Bailey had been dropped by that point, just in the crosswind after the gravel.
Yeah,
and I thought, right, I'm the only real top GC now. I'm just going to drive for the finish.
Yeah.
So I was just pulling the guys along in the bunch, just wanted to get to the finish.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they started sort of letting the wheels go a wee bit.
Shit.
And they sort of weren't pulling through. Everyone I think was just on their last legs, and I thought there's no point telling people if I'm just going to do it all myself.
Gotcha.
So a couple of wee surges, and then away you go.
Took control. Took yellow.
That's what you got to do.
Out the gate. Put them in the gutter.
No one's going to give it to you. You got to go take it.
Yeah, you got to go take it. That's awesome, mate. On the attack. I was like, holy fuck, that was a wicked stage, eh?
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And when you get there and you get to the finish and you've now got the yellow jersey, does that change the mindset for the rest of the week now? Were you wanting the yellow jersey this early on?
Anytime you can get time, you take it, because it could be beautiful weather and no wind for the rest of the week. That could be the only opportunity. So if you see your chance, you got to take it. Ideally, you want to get it as late as possible in a perfect world, but it's far from a perfect world down there. So you see a chance to grab 40 seconds and you just go for it. So but it's also, I think, a race where it's good to be on the front. If you get the yellow jersey, obviously you ride the front. I think the front is the best place to be in that tour. So
Campbell knows all about being out the front. Just a little. Hey, just to tie to that stage up. So what did you do to your bike? Just for the stage, what changes did you make just for that stage there?
For the gravel, I rode the rim brake bike. So I actually switched bike. I was going to ride the disc brake bike because obviously gravel, when it was going to be wet, and I thought it could be a bit treacherous in the wet, but it actually ended up being dry.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I rode the disc brake bike in the team time trial and the circuit race. And then last minute I decided, it's probably better because it's dry and with the chance of getting punches to get wheel changes to ride the rim brake bike. I actually forgot to change the transponder over, so the time didn't pick up. So
that's right. And that's why at the end it said you were the only one by 14, 15 seconds, but really it was a lot bigger.
Yeah, it was more than that. I don't know exactly what it was. But
gotcha. And tyre selection?
Tyre selection, so I rode slightly thicker tyres, slightly heavier tyres, like a fast training tyre type thing, which I normally train on. And that was good, a bit extra sealant. It's good quality sealant.
So
tubeless, sorry,
Yes.
Which I've run the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. In the tour. I've just run just full time. I think it's awesome.
So again, Gus, what I was saying to you is he's attention to detail with changing stuff on his bike, which we'll get to later about the time trial. But like running heavier tires in a road race with gravel was a smart move. You know,
Oh.
like just like, I mean, you don't know if it worked or it didn't work, but again, he's doing something to his bike to prepare for the stage and changing the bike disc that, well, like you just said, you know what I mean? So it's pretty epic, right?
Yeah. Did it work? Did it not work? Irrelevant. It wasn't wrong because you were at the finish first.
And
that's all that matters at the end
That's
of the day.
right,
You know, like
yeah.
people say, you know, it's always the same people that get the punches. You know, like it's always certain teams that might
Yeah.
get, you know, 7 punches in a stage,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
another team that gets none. So
yeah, that's
you
right.
kind of got to go like, hang on, what's happening? You can't just get seven punches and call that bad luck.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
what
right.
tires you're running.
Yeah, yeah. 100%,
You know, like
100%.
people often blame luck, but there's a reason for everything. So
100%.
you got to look into it.
Okay. I'm with you here, bro. So moving on to the next stage,
So-
my favorite stage.
So stage 3.
Tiana. Fuck me.
Don't remember that one.
Nah, boring.
Nothing happened.
Maybe
Boring,
somebody else
yeah.
in the room remembers that one,
Yeah.
and we'll probably talk about stage 3 shortly. So,
yeah.
but while we are here talking about, you obviously knew he was going up the road. So talking about Campbell here, our other guest in the studio with
Yeah.
us, Campbell Pithie, who will tell his story of stage 3
Yeah.
coming very shortly. But Michael, you obviously knew he'd gone up the road.
Yep.
And happy to let him go up the road based on you didn't actually have a very good stage 2, Campbell.
Lost 6
and that
minutes.
ground-
Lost 6 minutes with got some stone stuck in his wheel. Like a lot of other people lost time.
Yeah.
right, which you'll get into. Yeah.
So that because of that made the basis you were okay that he went up the road.
Yeah, I mean that stage normally goes the same way pretty much every year. It's real hard, real fast at the start. Often you get a small split,
Yeah.
and then you turn sort of more inland. You go through to a tap where it goes to sort of a headwind,
False flag.
and all the GC guys are in the front. There's no one to
Yeah.
ride away from. Everyone sits up. The guys that have been dropped come back.
So
But it was pretty full on when because it did split. Like Black Spoke tried to split
Yeah.
it in the gutter. I think we had 4 guys there, so
Yeah.
we were pretty good. We were covered. There was maybe a group of like 20 or so, maybe.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty select group, and full credit to Campbell, like he was there. Like
yeah.
you know, to be in that move, like, because we were rolling, you know, pretty hard.
Yeah.
And then we set up, the bunch came back. You know, anyone had the chance to go up the road, but only one man did.
Yeah.
You know, like, you got to take that chance.
Yeah, that's right. So the break went up the road like it usually does. Front group bridge across, Black Spoke put it in the gutter, use all bridge across to the breakaway. Campbell goes. And my thing, and I was like, this is perfect. I know we've done our research. He's down like 5-6 minutes or whatever. I know
Yep.
you would have done your research. Like, we don't have to chase him.
Yep.
Like, and obviously they've got the best sprinter, Black Spoke. So in my opinion, even if I was Michael in yellow, I'm like, we don't have to chase him down while we bring Black Spoke to win the stage. So is that what you were kind of thinking? Or
yeah,
what
like
you
you've only got so many matches to burn. You
That's
don't want to
right.
put your guys on the front chasing stuff that it's not going to benefit you.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it was good for us, you know, kept us sort of, you know, out of trouble and
Yep.
gave the boys a bit of rest, particularly after the harder start.
Yeah,
It was good to give the boys a bit of chill time.
Yeah,
And we just rode the front and
Yeah.
kept it pretty chill, and
Yeah.
no one decided they wanted to chase it
Yeah,
until
yeah,
it was
yeah.
too late, obviously.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So that was like the biggest it was really the only major longest solo break
for a long time.
You know, was there anybody else in the peloton or any of those other teams going, hey, we need to get going here and get this back? Or did everybody just let it go?
No, not really. I think only when it was too late they realized that. But like, you know, you can't let a guy like Campbell have
No,
5
no,
minutes
no.
and expect
Yeah.
just to be able to pull it back, you know, on a whim. So
That's right.
and also I think with this year was kind of noticed, I think with the COVID thing, and potentially a little bit less depth in the field.
Yeah.
Like it was still just as hard to win the race
That's
or
right.
get the result.
Yeah.
But there was probably easier to get like a top 10 or so, or like a top 5.
Gotcha.
So instead of having the usual sort of 4 sprint teams that were all lining up to bring it back, it was
Gotcha.
mainly just sort of a couple.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
Which is, you
gotcha.
know, like you got to read the race, you know, for someone like Campbell to say,
Yeah.
okay, there's only 2 sprint teams here. There's only 2 guys that really want to
That's
go.
right.
2 teams want to go for the
Yeah.
stage. This is the chance and this is the opportunity.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's just smart riding. Like
Yeah,
that's what you got to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, fuck's sake, what a savage. We'll get to that later on, but fuck, that was a wicked stage. And
Yeah.
you just come in nice, straight to recovery, looked after yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like it was a pretty cruisy stage. I mean, I think Black Spoke tried to bring it back in the last sort of 40, 50K when it was
Yeah.
5 minutes with a couple of guys. And,
Yeah.
you know, like a couple of guys can't bring back five
Yeah.
minutes on their own. So no
Fine.
one else wanted it. So I
Yeah.
think it could have been an easy stage win for them. But
Yeah,
obviously they had their agenda and
yeah.
they rode their race, and the right man
100%.
won.
When
Yeah.
you heard the lad had won, did you give him a high five at the end?
So honestly, I was nervous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get nervous when I
Yeah,
race or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
but when
yeah.
I see other people, I can be watching any sport.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter on TV, and I get nervous, but I
Yeah.
never ever get nervous myself for racing.
Yeah, wicked.
But it was good. Like I was talking a lot to Dougal Allen throughout the
Yeah,
stage, one
yeah.
of Campbell's teammates, saying, you know, if someone goes, make sure you're on the wheel, don't pull a turn, and
Yeah,
this is what the climb's like, this is what Black Mount's like.
Yeah,
People will
wicked.
probably go hard here, and
Yeah.
make sure you do this and follow these guys, and this
Yeah.
is what these guys are looking to be
Yeah,
doing. And he was
wicked.
sort of, you know, thinking, you know, sort of taking mental notes and
Yeah, cool.
prepared for all the scenarios and that, because
Yeah.
it can split over Black Mount. You
Yeah.
can get like if it split over Black Mount, there was a group of 10 guys that got away that were really motivated. Then
Yeah.
it could have been dangerous. So I said
That's
to the
right.
guys, you know, you got to be on everything. You got to shut it down and
Yeah.
just sit on.
Yeah,
Well, and didn't Dougal Allen go well?
He did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really well.
he'll be back surely.
Well, not sure, but
Sure. He's up the road a few times too.
you know,
Just
for
saying.
for these guys that that haven't done this before, I thought they did quite well and they played their part and
Yeah.
and probably got a hell of an experience out of it.
I think
Yeah.
that's the key. Just play a part in it. You know, like
Yeah,
you're
that's
better
right.
off to give it a go and get dropped and lose a bit of time than just sort of try and follow the
Yeah.
wheels and finish with
Yeah.
a bunch. You know, like
Yeah.
give it a go, be at the front, show yourself, show
100%.
your team, show your
Yep.
jersey.
You know, just on that stage there, you're saying there's all sorts of things that can happen, and like I was up the road, just talking about myself here. I got
Not,
no result.
not unusual,
But,
Michael, on this
yeah.
podcast.
You know, like
Yeah.
no shit. Like we had a 3-minute 30 gap after Blackmount, and two guys attacked up Blackmount and bridged across to us. Ryan Wills and another UK guy in a KOM jersey bridged across to a bunch of 5 of us, of 5 like hitters, 4 hitters and me. Do you know what I mean? And we got caught by them. And fuck, it was so. Like you say, it's that you can win from the breakaway. The GC riders can come out. So much can go wrong and right there.
Yeah,
Eh? It's like,
and it's hard in a small group too, because like the less guys you have, the exponentially harder it gets.
yeah.
So like, if
yeah,
you're like one guy,
yeah,
it's more than twice as hard
That's
as if you were
right.
2 guys. You
yeah,
know, like
that's right.
being by yourself for 50k,
Yeah.
like unless
I
you've
know.
done it, you don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
it's
that's
like.
right.
Hey, like
And
no one to set tempo, no one to follow,
That's right.
no one to push you. Like it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
literally you against yourself.
Yeah,
like
that's right. And then the bunch swelling can swallow you up so fast in the last 20k, like out
Yeah.
the gate, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
fucking out the gate.
That must be the worst feeling. Like to have given to give your all for so
Yeah.
long and then
yeah,
and then have it all just in the last
Yeah.
few meters sucked
Because
away
there's
from you.
plenty of time to think about that stuff as well when you're out
Yeah.
there, you know, by yourself.
Yeah,
like
that's
training,
right.
you know.
Well, we'll ask that
Yeah,
question
yeah.
again. When
Yeah,
we get to
yeah,
Campbell, we'll
absolutely.
ask how that
You
goes.
know,
So
yeah,
so stage 4, obviously the Remarkables, the big climb up the Remarkable ski field there.
yeah,
Quite a strategic stage
Yeah.
in the play of the Tour of Southland. And like you did quickly mention earlier before, you really got to shine on this stage to be in it, right? So for the long game of the Tour of Southland, you really got to be able to climb and be in this stage here.
And I did say to you last show, I was like, this is the stage where you get the bigger time gaps, and you see who can climb and who's going to back it up the next day and Bluff and those types of things. Like my question here is like, so we watch the stage. Obviously the break goes away. I was texting this guy and a few other people going, holy fuck. Because I was like, oh shit, there's a huge group going up the road with Logan Curry, so second on GC, I think it was at the time.
Yep.
There was 5th, maybe 6th, 14th. So big group. Campbell was up the road again, George Jackson. So guys that are motivated to roll and with teammates as well. Plus, I think 3 of your teammates were up there, or two.
Two.
2 of them were up there. Thank fuck, that was awesome as well. But I was like straight away. So this is just me anyway. I was like, okay, it reminded me of when Brad Evans won the Bluff stage and a big group went away and a couple of favourites, 3 favourites kind of didn't make the move, and he won the Tour from that stage and he had to do a lot to get there. But for me, I was like, holy fuck. I wasn't panicking, stressing because fuck, I wanted to win, but I was like, okay, what's going to happen next and what's going on here? You messaged me, you're like, bro, this, and I was like, no, they'll have it covered. So do you want to run us, like, what were you thinking? How you feeling? That group goes, fuck, bro, they had like 1:20 at one stage. And it was you and 3 teammates.
Yeah. So usually, but at the beginning of the stage, I say to the guys, look, you know, I'm happy to follow moves as well. I'm not, don't just expect an armchair ride. So the first few days I'm following stuff in the first 50k and jumping on moves and shutting stuff down partly because I can, but also to show the boys that I'm in it just as much as they are. The same thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I said to them before the Remarkable stage that, you know, today's the day I want to sort of sit back a wee bit, stay in the bunch and save the legs for the climb. So I want you guys to be really onto it. In that first sort of 50k, that first part of the race until the break goes.
Yeah, wicked.
And they were, you know, like we had 2 guys in the move.
Yeah.
It's also a day where these guys have nothing to lose. There's lots of guys that are never going to win up that climb.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else for them to try. So
Yeah.
you get the big Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Lots of guys want to go up the road.
Yeah.
And particularly, I think with my lead on the first day, there were lots of guys that sort of wanted to get a bit back on me.
Yeah.
And which was good. Like, kudos to them. You know, you got to go out and try and take it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that big group went. Like, we were pretty quick to react to it.
Yeah.
as soon as it went, I was on the front with the guys and
Yeah.
said, look, just keep this close until we know exactly who's in there
Yeah, gotcha.
and the situation. And that's what we did. And then we found out there were a couple of dangerous guys in there. So we rode a bit harder, but the break wasn't quite coming back. It was sitting at that sort of 30-second mark.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I said, right, we can keep it here. This is fine because I know if I absolutely have to, we can skip across here.
Gotcha.
But also I didn't want to do any more than I absolutely had to.
Yeah,
you know. So kept it at arm's reach. Ideally, would have had the guys drop back straight away.
Yeah.
From the front, and just to close that last bit.
Now, if you had race radios, would have you been on the
totally
mic, drop the
different,
fuck back and get on? Let's do this now.
Yeah,
but you didn't. So this is the race, which makes it fucking a lot harder.
Yeah,
like, a lot harder.
Yeah, and then of course you get the climb. I can't remember what's the name of it.
There's a KOM at the top of it, isn't it?
Yeah. The jollies.
Yeah,
so over the jollies, it was maybe 20 seconds or so. And I thought, oh, the guys are looking a little bit tired here. Maybe I can skip across on here. And of course, I did a pretty big turn. And I think I was yelling at poor old James a wee bit because he was on the front trying to bring it back.
Yeah.
And I was saying, go, James, go. And he was trying. And I was like, go now, go. And I looked down and I was doing 700 and something watts, telling him to go, you know. And I was like, oh, poor guy. Like, probably fair enough. I jumped, I think most of it was probably like 10 seconds off the back coming down the other side.
Yeah.
With probably like 6 or 7, maybe 10 guys in tow.
And I think 3 black spoke were on.
And
Mudgeway was there.
Yeah, and I got to the bottom of the descent and I was like, if I really commit now, I know I can close that gap. But I really don't want to. Like, I'd rather, you know, either guys from behind come back.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you go deep into the red closing gap like that, you pay for it up the climb. So
100%.
Either the guys could drop back from the front or the guys from behind could get back and then close that last bit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like we're going quick. Like, I was probably rolling at like 400 watts, maybe just over, just holding it there like 10 seconds. To close, I would have had to do like a good like 550, 500 for a decent amount of time, you know?
Yeah, gotcha.
Which I didn't want to do, of course. Yeah, you never want to do.
That's right.
And then obviously the gap, I think, to the front kind of slowly started growing out a little bit to maybe, I don't know, like 20, 30 seconds. And they looked like the bunch behind was about 20, 30 seconds back as well.
Yeah.
And I was putting my hand up just trying to get a team car to get some information about what was going on. So either the guys from behind, how far back they were, so they could come back up, or to get the guys in front to drop back and bring me back up. And that was the only time there was a little bit of panic and a little bit of stress, not because the situation was terrible, but just because there was no communication.
Yeah.
And that's always the key. Like, you need everyone together and on the same page.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then finally, the gap, I think, grew out a wee bit. The guys from behind came back. I decided to sit up and wait for them because they went too far. And they started riding, and then the gap was big enough the team car could come up, and the other 2 guys dropped back.
Yeah, so the team car went up to the front group.
Yeah,
feed them as his boys get the fuck back.
Yeah,
you know?
so one side of cycles was probably like 10k. I was stuck in the middle, just riding that like sort of high 300 watts, 400ish, just trying to keep it close enough that if I had to jump, I could, you know, ride really hard and sort of and fix it, but. Also, I didn't want to let it go if the guys, in case the guys behind my teammates were totally out of the race and they just totally set up on the jollies and that was it.
Yeah, gotcha.
So as soon as I knew from the team car what was going on, I could make a decision.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then of course the guys from behind came back. Yeah. And let the gap grow big enough for the team car to go through. Team car went up to the front.
Yeah.
And it's also good to have guys in the break because they can then relay information about how the break's rolling and what's happening up there. So it's almost like a bit of a recon thing.
They came back and said, and what they say to you?
Yeah, they said basically the GC guys are driving it, which is good because you don't want the GC guys having an armchair ride with their teammates driving it because you know they're going to be good up the climb. But if you know the GC guys have all been driving it full gas, you know they're going to lose probably a minute plus extra up the climb because they've worked so hard. Yeah, gotcha. So it ended up being a sort of a good situation for us in the end. Gotcha. But again, like the team had to be super strong to bring that back and they had to ride pretty much all day. Yeah, gotcha. And the gap was probably like a minute or so all day. Yeah. Got it to 120 at one stage, and then you're like, it was like 60 seconds type of thing. Yeah. Fucking epic. And bro, if you go to the climb, so Logan Curry went straight to the front, riding for GC, of course, trying to get as much time as he can, of course. But like you say, it's been rolling, like they all been rolling pretty hard, you know. And then what did you do when you get to the climb? And then do you ride the front or what's so basically we had no teammates left. I mean, some of the guys pulled some big burner turns into the bottom of it, which was good.
And it's fast coming into it, right?
It is fast,
that right turn onto the climb is fucking sketchy. Gravel everywhere. You've seen the bunch coming in. I think Coupland's went hard left.
Yeah, that's right.
Great. You're always like that, eh? You know? It's like,
I think the break at about 30 seconds, but you're never quite sure. So you want to kind of I guess sort of jump up there not as quick as possible, but you don't want to hang around too much and wait to hear that they're, you know, a minute up the road or whatever. So you started pretty hard, and then obviously we could see the front of the race pretty quick. So I just rode my own tempo up there basically, just
Yeah.
basically as hard as I could to the top. And there was quite a bit of wind this year,
Yeah.
quite a bit of headwind.
Yeah, gotcha.
But we're lucky we caught the front of the race, Ollie Jones, right at the start of the big long headwind straight.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the race was all together, which was good. So
Yeah,
we could
cool.
just sort of sit up a wee bit, sort of catch my breath again, and then go again. So
Now, and just to, can we have a bit of feedback on those? Holy shit. What's that young guy who got third? Max Muffin or something? What's his name?
Yeah. Max Miffin.
So he had some
Miffin,
guy that's been riding for a year and a half, right? Like got third on the stage. He was sitting on your wheel. And then you had Josh, like young guy, real nice guy, an amazing rider. Obviously he attacked. So when he attacked, were you anticipating that? And when he went, did you be like, oh fuck, I've got to shut him down, or you were riding for GC and you weren't worried about, obviously.
Nah, definitely just riding for GC at
That's
that point.
right.
Like I kind of knew that, but it was also a bit of a funny story because I changed my chain rings for that stage.
Oh,
put slightly smaller ones on.
Gotcha.
And so the power meter was playing up a wee bit because I didn't do something or whatever.
Yeah,
anyway, I got halfway up the climb. Normally I'd ride sort of, I don't know, like low to mid 400 watts up a climb like that.
Yeah, but like myself.
Yeah, well, depending on how long the stage been, maybe like mid 400s up there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was riding up there. I was sort of pushing as hard as I can, just trying to hold. And I'm like, man, I'm really struggling to even hold 400. Like, it must have been a hard day, or maybe that bit of work I did in the middle was coming back to me. And then guys were sort of getting popped and pinged.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is really interesting. I just got to go as hard as I can because at the end of the day, the result's the most important thing more than the power.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got sort of, maybe two-thirds of the way up, and there was only probably like 5 of us left.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going and I was just trying to keep my tempo. I saw the watts were low and I was like, oh man, my legs really aren't great, but the guys are dropping off, so they must be worse.
Yeah.
Keep going, put in a couple of attacks. And then I eventually got away with this Miffin guy on my wheel.
Yeah.
And also with Josh.
Yeah.
And
did you know who he was?
No, I had no idea.
So cool, eh?
And then one of the I think a K to go, I think it was when Josh attacked, and I thought I don't have the legs to follow that. I can barely hold just over 400 watts here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was coming into the finish, maybe like 500 to go with this guy on my wheel, and I'd averaged like 360 watts for this climb. And I was like, man, what's wrong with me? Like my legs are rubbish. That this guy that I've never heard of is going to roll me for the stage, like. Like I don't know who this guy is, and he's about to beat me. It's supposed to be my stage. Never, notwithstanding the fact there were like that pretty much the whole field had been dropped by then. It was all about you're probably a bit too sucked into the power. So I was thinking, shit, if these are the legs I've got for the rest of the week, these legs that can only ride 360 watts for 20 minutes, I'm in big trouble. And I was sort of stressing a wee bit.
Yeah.
And then I ended up second on the stage.
Yeah.
And then after the stage, I sort of was looking at, the Strava and other people's power. And I thought, oh, shit, I was actually doing quite a bit more than 360.
Yeah, that's right.
Made me feel a bit better about myself.
Yeah,
so
wow.
It makes you realize how much you rely on power,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, 100%.
I think I'm fine to ride without power if I just don't have it.
Yeah.
But if it's giving me the wrong numbers,
then
it can kind of play with me a wee bit.
Yeah, 100%.
But once I know it's wrong and it's not correct, then it's totally fine.
Yeah, 100%.
But I wasn't quite sure because like 360, like it's not totally unrealistic.
Yeah.
But like if it was 200 watts, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's not working, it's fine.
Out the gate. Yeah, 100%.
And then
And again, going back to the Terminator Vink here, like when he finishes, Garcia, like you cross. Those other boys finished, like even last year, they're all on the ground, fucking snot out their nose. They're completely going for the stage win and top 10s or whatever. But you finish and you just ride on
past.
I mean, obviously you're riding hard. But yes, for me, bro, it's just like a class act. It's like you're not showing any weakness. You're like, that hurt. Obviously, everyone knows that. But I'm not on the ground. Is this part of the whole long-term goal here to show no sign of weakness type of thing?
No, like I think the situation was under control. Like Josh was far enough ahead that I was never going to be able to jump across to him and win the stage.
Yeah.
Enough guys had been dropped and put enough time with them. Obviously, you go as hard as you can.
Yeah.
But there was no incentive to really go 105%,
Yeah. So you're always holding back that little bit for that. You're reading the situation type of thing.
Not necessarily holding back a whole lot.
Yeah.
But also I think I've just got it in the back of my mind that it's a long tour and it's almost like an instinctive thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
You kind of just know without having to think how hard you need to go and what your job is for that day.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I think also the older I get, the more efforts I've done, the deeper I've gone, the more times, and your body just gets more used to it.
Yeah, gotcha.
It tends to be the young guys that tend to be all over the place when they finish, because they haven't done as many of those efforts. But
yeah, gotcha.
I've done so many now.
Gotcha.
I think my body's just used to it.
Yeah, so that was second on that stage, right?
Second, yeah.
Yeah. And who's second and third on GC at that stage? Do you remember?
I think Logan might. No, was it Logan? Might have been Logan Curry or Bailey even.
Yeah, Bailey moved. Bailey took the pink jersey there, so he might have. Yeah, Bailey might have moved up to second.
Or maybe
there.
Ollie Jones.
Yeah, Ollie Jones.
Second,
Ollie Jones. Yeah,
because he was in the break all day and he was really pushing on. He still had a good ride. I think he only finished 30 seconds ahead of him.
Yeah. So he attacked on the climb as well, like last year. All right, so that's a fucking pretty gnarly stage. A lot going on. A lot of like. For me, like that's why I'm not a GC rider because one, I'm not. But so much team riders up the road, brakes, got a bridge up. Like there's a lot going on. It's not just easy to start to put a number on.
That's also because of the gravel day. You know, they did that. Like you wouldn't normally see the likes of Ollie and Logan try and go up the road.
Yeah, gotcha.
On a stage like that, but because I stole sort of a minute on that first stage, they had no other option. You know, sort of forced their hand a wee bit.
Yeah, and
kudos to them for actually doing it. You know, they were still trying to win the yellow jersey at that point rather than go for a podium.
Yeah, that's right. I fucking love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was good to see.
So just to confirm there, because most of the time Reon and I, more Reon than me, are just full of our own opinions. Occasionally we're full of facts. But yeah, Ollie Jones at the stage was second and Bailey was sitting third on GC at that stage with Logan in fourth.
Yeah, gotcha.
But here you've got a minute 43 lead.
Yeah,
going into Bluff Hill, another famous.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but it's
no. It's one puncher, bad van driver, and you're out. Yeah. One crash. So like say going on to Bluff. Obviously, you said before your first Tour of Southland, you got third up there. You're in the break. Aki went. It's fucking gnarly. So now going to Bluff, the break goes. Another a strong group bridges across to that. And they had Luke Mudgeway in there. So going into the tour, we called that you were going to win it. I says, no one's beating this guy's fucking psychopathic nuts and mean Watts. People saying he's not going good.
Come on, let's. You like to talk yourself up here. You were saying that you'd been riding with Michael, and based on your riding capabilities, you said he was a shoe-in to win.
Inside trading.
Yeah, I was basically. I put $100 on him. No shit, but I was like, so obviously we picked you to win, bro. We backed you 100%. Based off past experience, the field, and the way that I seen you ride your bike, 100%. But then we said Mudgeway, right, for Black Spoke. Well, like, there's a few other riders. And so Mudgeway at this stage is not on the podium of Tour of Southland. You know what I mean? Yep. And we're like, oh, fuck. And I said, well, they've all come out of MOQ, might take a while to wake up, and all those types of things, bad timing, situations, all those types of things. But so here we go now. Break goes, the front group bridges up to that breakaway, and then it starts attacking itself. We've seen... who attacked first? I think it might have been you. Nah, you were third across to it. Who attacked first, Campbell? Yeah. So Campbell attacked.
So just in case you didn't hear that, Campbell just doesn't quite have a microphone here at the moment, but we'll put him on shortly when we're done. But Campbell's just saying he actually made the attack first.
Yeah. So Campbell attacked. So all back together. Grupo Compacto. Campbell attacks. Zander follows, and then Mudgeway bridges across. Yep. So there's three riders, and I was following. We were following on the feed, and I was like, okay. Cam was up the road again. Holy fuck, he's obviously got good legs. And then I was like, is this Mudgeway's move? You know, and that's exactly what it was. So now that the break goes out, I'm not sure what the break went out to. Anyone remember that? What did it go out to?
About 3 minutes, I think. It was.
I was thinking this is a wee bit sketchy. I know Bluff Hill wasn't that a long of a climb, but still, the three riders, still a kind of a big group, and Michael had some teammates. But what were your kind of thoughts then when that break went? Were you still in control? No stress, panicking, not like the day before, but
yeah, there's a wee bit more to that stage sort of earlier on. Like obviously, our goal was to we wanted to let a break go. Break of not too many guys early that weren't GC threats. And it took a wee while to happen, but that eventually did happen.
Yeah,
I think 3 guys were up the road, 3 or 4 guys, maybe 5, I don't know. And then I think Black Spoke sort of, I guess, put a bit of an ambush move around the back from the letterbox hill climb.
Yeah.
Around the back on those sort of rolling hills.
That's a rolling false.
That's right, when it sort of starts like maybe like 80k to go, something like that.
I've got it marked on that stage up there actually somewhere.
Yeah, anyway, it was a big team attack type thing from the back. And I think we were right in the front, pretty casual, but I think lots of our guys were sort of caught off guard a wee bit.
Yeah, gotcha.
I probably should have sort of stood up in the team meeting and said, this is the place for an ambush. You know, the guys need to be ready for it. And then it was just me and Ethan that were able to follow.
Yeah,
so as a group of probably like 15 guys with just me and Ethan there. I think there were 3 Black Spoke guys.
Yeah.
I think Ollie Jones was there, like a pretty dangerous GC move. And it was just me and Ethan. And this was like 80k to go type thing.
Yeah,
like still a lot of racing to go.
100%.
And that's 100% when I need someone like Ethan there.
Yeah, gotcha.
And of course, we're getting attacked left, right, and center. I'm telling Ethan, just ride tempo, keep the bunch going. Doesn't matter if you get dropped, just ride yourself back on. Don't put yourself into the red.
Yeah.
I'll follow the dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
You just keep the tempo going. Keep the bunch moving.
Work it.
And of course, that's what he did. So he just sat on the front row tempo. So then when someone attacked, they could attack 5K an hour faster, not 10, 15K an hour faster. Because as soon as the bunch sits up, it's fans across the road, that's when it's dangerous, because that's when someone can get 10 seconds instantly.
Yeah, gotcha.
So he rode his tempo. They kept trying to attack. I followed the dangerous stuff.
Fuck.
And then my mindset was, we're going to have to let someone go. They're not going to stop until a GC guy gets up the road.
Yep.
And I said, okay, who do I want to get up the road of the GC guys? I said, Black Smoke needs someone. Do I want it to be Logan?
Yeah.
Campbell or Mudgeway. I said, well, I don't want it to be Logan for obvious reasons. I mean, it was his 11th to the time trial world championships.
I think he's more. Oh, sorry.
Nah, he was.
Sorry. Sorry, it was too. Yeah.
And just super straight. He's not the sort of guy you want to be chasing.
Nah.
Obviously, a guy like Campbell, just massive horsepower. He's the sort of guy that you give him an inch, he could take a mile.
Yeah.
Never underestimate someone like that.
Yeah.
Mudgy, also a super strong rider, but I sort of thought he's probably doesn't have as much horsepower as the other two on the flat.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's also being a very small guy. Like if you did get up the road with a couple of other guys, whoever was on his wheel was going to be having a pretty hard time.
Yeah.
So he's one of those guys where it can often be sort of worse to have him in the break with you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because 100%. You're on the wheel doing the same power as you're on the front, basically.
Yeah.
And then obviously he went up the road with Campbell and a under 23 guy,
Xander White.
Yep.
Who rides for Black Smoke.
Yep. And so when they went, because it was a case of what do I let go? Because it had to be something. I said, okay, there's a Black Smoke guy there. It's Mudgy. That's probably, the best outcome.
Yeah.
And then Campbell, who'd lost time, who was just going for the stage win. I thought Campbell's not going to be driving it out because I knew Mudgeway was something like 2.5 minutes down.
Yeah,
more.
gotcha. Yeah.
I knew Campbell wasn't going to be driving on. So I thought that was good. And then obviously Xander was an under 23 rider.
Gotcha.
And there were under 23 riders in our bunch.
That's right.
So I sort of thought if there's an under 23 rider in our bunch that sees Xander go up the road, they're not going to want to let him go too far. So everyone in our bunch had sort of a reason to chase.
So now you've got sort of teammates, but
allies.
Not.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And it was only 3 guys as well, which was really good.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, that's fine. Poor old Ethan had to chase it all pretty much himself.
Fuck, really?
As soon as they went, they got a minute pretty quick, and then I went out to 3 minutes, which we were okay with because I knew that if you have to ride 50K into a block headwind before Bluff Hill, you're going to be losing at least a minute plus up the hill. So even if they do get the bottom with 3 minutes,
gotcha.
We were pretty safe. And I did actually go around and sort of speak to a few of the other teams and just sort of said that, look, if you guys want to go for the stage win, now's your time to ride the front because we only need to keep it at 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and we're safe. Like we're about the GC, not the stage win.
Gotcha.
And no one did until it was a bit too late, I think. And even the guys like PowerNet with Ollie Jones, I think Ollie was losing his GC spot to Luke.
Shit.
Because I was in the luxury position of having sort of a couple of minutes over those guys.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I could afford to let a break win by a minute and a half and still be in my position, whereas they were losing their podiums.
So did they miss a trick there that day, do you think?
I think so. I mean, I tried to tell them.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Not sure why
curious
they
of
didn't.
you.
Yeah. And then even with the like the likes of the Mitre Q team as well with Josh Burnett for the stage win, I sort of said to them as soon as the break went, I said, look guys, we only want to keep it at 2 minutes. That's all we need. If you guys want to go for the stage win, at least give us one guy to help. Because I think they had 3 guys at that point.
Yeah, gotcha.
And they were quite keen to sit back.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I think Ethan rode the front for probably 30 Ks into a block headwind.
Fuck, really?
And just held him at that like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah,
and I pulled a couple of just support turns. I said to him, look, if you need a bit of a rest, I'm happy just to roll through for 30 seconds a minute. You're just not too hard, 400 watts type thing, just to give you a bit of a breather.
Wow.
And then, eventually I think with about 30K to go, maybe even 20, a couple of guys started coming to the front, but I think by this point it was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it was too late to bring them back for the stage.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. It got to within a minute though, a minute 10 or something.
I think at the bottom,
at the bottom. Yeah,
gotcha. But by the time they actually started riding, it was like 25K to go.
Yeah.
It was still like 3 minutes.
Yeah, gotcha.
So too little, too late. I mean, it was fine for us, but
yeah,
I think the likes of like Mitre Q certainly lost out on their stage win. I think it was a pretty easy stage win for them if they put a guy on the front.
16 seconds back from Campbell.
That's right.
Yeah,
they only had to roll a few turns to make up that 16 seconds over 50K. Like it wouldn't have taken much.
So
and then also like Ollie lost his podium that day as well.
Wow.
Because obviously Mudgeway finished ahead of him on that climb.
He got third, right? Yeah, did too.
If they could have put another guy on the front, because they did put a guy on the front, but again too late. If they put a guy on the front a little bit earlier, they even if what was he 5 seconds off the podium?
Yeah.
Like that's all it would have taken.
Interesting.
So Mudgeway,
This is a game of chess, bro.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of missed opportunities, a couple opportunities gained along the way.
And so Campbell, so basically Campbell won the fucking stage.
He does. So you're going to be
fuck me
next in the chair, as we've said for the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
So that's Bluff Hill, stage 6. By now you must be thinking yellow's mine, right?
You never think that.
Nah.
I've lost.
But you must have some going. Well, okay,
Angus,
not
do you know
saying
how many
not saying that
crashes, punches, fuck.
not saying that you're a shoo-in for yellow, but the mindset now is okay. We've done what we need to do to set ourselves up to take this home.
Yeah.
Now we've really just got to make sure that we just finish it off without any risk, without anything, and just go through the process.
But
Yeah.
it's so far to go still, though. Eh? Some
Well,
hard
it's
stages,
only really Gore to go, to be honest.
which has been a fucking menace.
And that's the classic ambush stage. So if
Yeah.
you just got to say to the boys, look, everyone's done a fantastic job. There's one more stage to go. If everyone can just keep it together for one more stage, we should be home and hose.
Yeah,
So that was the key there.
And so run us through that stage, bro. What's to go there?
There was actually a pretty tame stage, to be honest.
Yeah.
Again, there were lots of battles sort of infighting for KOM jerseys and sprint jerseys, and certain guys wanted to get up the road
Yeah.
and certain guys didn't want other guys to get up the
So
road.
that
and-
helped with the speed of the peloton?
Yeah,
so
definitely, but-
KOM sprints wrapped up. But yeah.
But we also had to be really aware of what other people were doing
Yeah,
as well. So
gotcha.
if all of a sudden someone comes flying up the outside of the bunch at 50k an hour,
Yeah.
you know they're going for a jersey or for a sprint or something.
Yeah,
versus
gotcha.
they're trying to set something up for their team leader or something like that.
Yeah, got you.
It was just a case of letting eventually the right move go.
Gotcha.
And it took quite a while, actually. I think 60 odd k probably,
Yeah, gotcha.
maybe even more. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was
Yeah.
a lot. And
Gnarly.
eventually the right group did sort of slip up the road.
Yeah.
And it was a group that we were okay with.
Yeah.
There were no GC threats and the right teams represented.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes.
yeah.
Like,
Do you think that because James Fish was up the road, Black Spoke were obviously happy with that?
yeah, definitely. I mean, they were
Yeah.
getting something out of the stage. I mean,
That's
they're
right.
never going to roll over and just say, the stage just isn't for us. We're just going to sit
Yeah.
in and do nothing. They're always going to try and get something out of it. And obviously, James had everything to ride for with that KOM jersey.
Yeah, that's right. And then ultimately stage one.
Yeah, exactly
solid.
that too. So
Yeah.
I think they're in a position where they had to sort of, look at other things.
Yeah.
Apart from just the yellow jersey,
Yeah,
and that
gotcha.
anything they could get at that stage was going to be good and going to help their cause.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they weren't an all in for the yellow jersey team at that stage. So
Yeah, gotcha. 100%. And how did you feel on that stage personally leading up to the TT the next day?
I felt really good. I had a bit of a moment after what was it, 120k, I think.
Yeah.
I was just sort of riding along. I chased quite a bit of stuff early.
Yeah.
And I started to feel a little bit kind of
Yeah.
a bit sort of out of sorts, And I
Yeah,
thought,
gotcha.
what's going on here? And then I realized I had one bar and one bottle and
Yeah,
for
gotcha.
120k.
Yeah, wow. See this so that there. So Gus, when you say you got a sus spot, you got the yellow jersey. This
Yeah.
is the shit can
Really easily go wrong.
Fuck yeah, that's not over. So if you get split and isolated with whole teams fucking up, and you kind of haven't had anything or whatever, or not the caliper riders, Michael or whatever, you can be down to 50th on GC, and then that can actually happen if you're not following these types of things.
How did you get to that point? Were you just in your own little world? Or were you...
I'm someone that doesn't really eat and drink too much on the bike anyway.
Right.
But obviously, when you're 5 days deep into a tour and you've just done a hard 2.5 hours of following constant attacks and you've had one bar and a bottle,
Yep.
It could have been something totally different. I mean, I don't know. I just started to feel a little bit almost sort of lightheaded.
Yeah, gotcha.
I thought it was almost a bit of a panic type thing. I thought, shit, because I've hunger bombed
Is this
one
the
other
moment?
time in my career, and
Yeah,
it was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Yeah.
I thought, shit, I think I had about 2 bars straight away.
I was going to
after
ask.
that, and a bottle,
gotcha.
straight away, and I
yeah,
was
gotcha.
fine. So
yeah, cool. Awesome.
but it was good. Like that stage definitely gets a lot harder towards the end. And again, there was a bit of an ambush from Black Spoke trying to attack us, but the team was just rock solid.
Yeah, cool.
It was so cool to see.
Gnarly.
Right. Well, we need to keep moving. So this next stage 7, I guess, is statement time, or I don't know, maybe even was it an expression session or something? I'm not sure what was quite going on there, but by jolly did you set the world alight there. Nobody had an answer for you in the individual time trial.
Hamish Bond did hold the record, right?
Yeah.
And he's obviously he's an elite athlete, world class in a lot of sports, whatever, rowing, whatever. Gave it a crack in cycling time trialing. So he set the record, and he's quite a big rider and holds some wicked power, and he time cut a few people when he set that, right?
Yep.
So before that TT started, this is what really what I love is, can you tell us, audience, people listening, whatever, what did you do? What kit wise, helmet wise, and what the hell did you do to your bike, bro? Run us through what you done there.
Basically anything you can.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen. You could get 2 punches in the race. Maybe you need 2 minutes to keep yourself safe. You might crash on a corner, and I don't know what lead I had at that point, maybe 2 minutes 40 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's
Like
pretty decent.
if you have a crash and then a puncture and just things go wrong, you
That's-
might need that 2 minutes 40.
Gotcha.
So you still want to go fast.
Yeah.
And also you want to keep the legs going for the afternoon stage.
Yeah.
You don't want to just sit up and take it too crazy because you get into trouble. So
Yeah.
And also I think there was an element of, I hadn't done too much the week
Yeah.
during that week. Like it sounds a bit funny, but I'd followed my teammates and I'd ridden hard up 2 climbs.
Yeah, gotcha.
And obviously of the gravel stage as well,
Gravels,
ridden the last 20k real hard. And that was it really. Like didn't feel like I had the chance or I'd had the chance to show the actual legs that I had.
Work it.
And I thought, right, this is the day that I actually want to do something for myself.
Yeah.
And just show, the boys and the sponsors and everything that, I'm in this position because I've turned up with the good legs.
Yeah, gotcha.
And this is what I can do if I'm pushed, if I'm
Yeah.
motivated, if I have to.
Yeah.
And
Well, I thought it was bloody awesome because just before or earlier, right at the start of this, you said your intention was to win the yellow, but not to win a stage, at all. But I don't know. Somewhat of me says that the guy who wins yellow should win a stage just to show that you're there for a reason against just trundling around the back, collecting the right time points, doing all those things and winning it that way without actually standing on as a stage win. And, I mean, you'd already had one in the bag to get yellow. So that was fine. That was ticked. But again, this here and the time trial showed that you didn't need your team. I mean, you always need your team, but the yellow jersey winner holder at the time.
The race of truth.
Yeah.
The race of truth.
I think that's the thing. And for me, it was a case of, the boys had shown me how good they were a week and I wanted the chance to show them how good I was.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was pretty cool. And they were pretty pumped because I said to them the night before, I said, I reckon a 15:30 is on for tomorrow.
No shit.
And as 15:30 was what I said. And I think, everyone was sort of talking
what
a bit
did
about
you
it.
do? 31.
31, yeah.
Yeah, so you weren't right.
Nah, close. I reckon they got the sort of wrong.
1 second's a lot.
Should have thrown the transponder.
Yeah. Nah,
held it out the front.
Yeah. So, bro, what'd you do to your bike?
So
run us through it, bro.
Obviously, you got to do anything you can. So
within the UCI limits, or
within the limits of the race, which it can be a bit ambiguous.
Which every rider's got the opportunity in the Tour of Southland to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, some of the rules are a bit sort of unwritten with the Tour of Southland. Like
it's not UCI, is it?
No, it's not.
So therefore,
it was once.
Yeah, but it's not now. So does that open the gate for interpretation?
Well, yeah, not really, because generally the gist of it is that the races run under UCI rules.
Yeah.
So anything that's allowed for UCI, you can do at Tour of Southland, but there is no sort of official Tour of Southland rule book. As such anymore, which is kind of cool, you know. But like everyone, use common sense. Like, don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't book clip on TT bars.
Yeah, exactly. Don't turn up on a time. Don't run a disc.
Yeah.
It's basically common sense discretion.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty much. So don't take the piss and you'll be fine. So definitely deep wheels, deep as you can get.
Yeah.
I think I was running 80mm DT Swiss wheels, which are best in the business.
Yeah.
So that was a big tick. Fast tires.
Yeah.
Is a big thing too.
Yeah. Tire pressure.
So what were your fast tires?
Maxxis High Road SLs, which are super good new offering from Maxxis, developed with Israel Startup Nation and Chris Froome. So I was running those pretty much all week apart from the gravel stage.
Yeah, gotcha.
So they're super, super good. Really impressed with those.
Man, and tire pressure front rear was same. Higher,
I went actually a bit lower than I normally am. I'm a bit old school, so I like to run like 110 everywhere.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I ran 80 for this.
Fuck off.
Because
80 psi.
It was 8. No, it was 8. It might have been 90.
What width tire are you running? 28, 25?
25s.
25s.
Yeah. Because again, the narrow tires are faster in time trial.
Gotcha.
Right.
Smoother airflow over the rim.
Yeah. But did the rim match? Did the tire width match the rim? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was perfect. So the perfect flow from the tire to the rim. No bulge or anything like that.
Chainring?
That was good. Chainring was a 58 tooth 1x.
Fuck. So you took the inner chainring off?
So I took the inner chainring off, pulled the front derailleur off, the front derailleur mount.
Yeah.
All that sort of thing. Also the cassette. This was probably a bit over the top, but I took the largest 2 or 3 sprockets off on the cassette. So it was like an 8 or 9 speed cassette.
Yeah, wow.
So I think I had like a 21 starting gear.
Shit.
And so 21.58 starting, and then the whole race pretty much down in like the 11-12.
Fuck. And
12,
and a
probably.
bottle. Didn't you put an aero bottle?
Yeah, so sorry, aero bottle. Like I have an aero bottle.
So take the bottle cage off, aero bottle cage.
So like a nice thin bottle that fits exactly in the frame.
Which ultimately makes the bike more aero. Right?
I was just going to say that wasn't for drinking out of.
No,
that was actually purely to create the aerodynamic flow over the down tube.
Yeah, and but the rules say you have to have some fluid in there.
Yeah.
Which is the thing. So you run a bit of fluid in there just in case someone pulls you up on it.
And what about stem length hoods in? You tune your hoods in?
Yeah, so stem I'm running a 150 stem.
Oh, geez.
With
negative.
No, it's just a 6 degree.
Yeah, it's just
And then with like quite long bars, so 100 mil reach bars.
all right.
So a super long setup, which I run all the time now
Yeah,
anyway,
gotcha.
because racing's so much faster and more aggressive,
Yeah.
your position's got to match.
Yeah.
Seat quite far forward, I'm running like 80 behind the BB,
Wow.
someone of my height, so real far forward position.
Yeah.
Hood's tilted in,
Yeah.
36 centimeter bars at the
Fuck.
hoods. So the hoods themselves are probably sitting at like, what would that be
28 or
like?
something,
Yeah,
are they?
28, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah.
So going like this is the shit that I'm talking about. See, the attention to detail, like that's insane. We're going on about that CDA stuff, about the aero, the hour record stuff, which we'll get into later, we'll think. But it's like, see, he's just made his frontal aero. He's long aero. He's got everything. He's take the inner chain ring off, move the front derailleur, the gearing, like the aero bottle, fuck the stem. You see what I mean?
Did
That's
anybody
okay.
else do this?
I'm not sure.
There
I'm
would have
not
been a
sure.
few riders. No one would have done it to that extent. But
No,
a few riders
no,
would
but-
change stems,
but-
seat forward, back down.
I don't think anyone was as motivated as me that day.
Yeah,
True.
Because
that's
there's
right.
only
True.
probably 2 or 3 people that can actually win the stage realistically.
Yeah,
You know,
gotcha.
like everyone else wants to have a good ride, but a second or two,
Yeah,
here
it's
or
not-
there,
not
it's
really
not
gonna
going to make a
matter.
difference.
Yeah,
But me,
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to do a 15:30.
How many people noticed it? many-
Lots of people the night before, people were walking, just talking in the car park outside the hotel, and of course, lots of teams stayed, and everyone was
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
past it, double checking. It's like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on there? What are you
Yeah.
doing? And we did do a couple of things, just to
Yeah.
like joking things, like
Yeah.
put some like streamers on the bike and
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
and
it's
just a bit of
awesome.
tape in random places, just to make
You
people
know what,
talk.
bro?
eh?
You know what?
No,
Like
thank
going back, I think we were last year or the year before, Campbell. We were all watching you the night before. Kia had Yellow, the young Mexican
Oh,
dude,
yep.
and you all changed your chain rings,
That's
and
right.
you all put 808s on, big deep dish and
Yep.
we're like, fuck, what's coming up next day? Crosswind, tail crosswind, dropped everyone but Yellow, isolated the team way back, then dropped Yellow. The whole team joined up, and then took the stage, right? Took
Yeah.
the tour, sorry.
That's the thing. There's
You know, like-
something about it when you turn up to like a road stage with shoe
Yeah.
covers on, deep wheels, like
Yeah,
you just know it's game time. You know, it
yeah.
just installs
Scary.
that sort of sense, that
Scary.
feeling that
You know, and going back to the start of the Tour of Southland, when you're in the velodrome, where mate, I used to be terrified. It's like circling sharks. You're in the velodrome and you see them warming up. They're all, they've changed the gear. They're circling the top. They're all warming up, and you're shitting yourself. Just saying. Anyway, so, bro, so just the whole bike's changed dramatically. And how much you think that played a part? Obviously, it's you, your legs, your training, and the hard work you've done to get to Tour of Southland. But doing all those things, and do you think you might have gained 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or do you not know, or what?
You just never know.
Never know.
Even like with wind tunnel testing, like it's not
Yeah.
the same as being outdoors. So
Yeah,
you
gotcha.
can get ideas of what things,
Yeah.
how things may be affecting you, but
Yeah.
you never know exactly. Like you can never put an exact number on it.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
all you can do is basically do all you can do.
Yeah.
And ride as hard as you can. I
Yeah,
think
good.
losing the elite national time trial title by less than 2 seconds
Yeah, fuck.
in January, was it this year?
Yeah.
That was sort of the tipping point for me, because I'd never been that focused on equipment to be
Wow.
quite fair.
Yeah, gotcha.
I was always sort of guy that would just push the pedals the hardest because I could win that
yeah,
way,
gotcha.
But now I'm sort of at that point in my career where I actually have to do other stuff as well to win. Like 'cause
Yeah.
everyone's so on top of that stuff. It's not just about the guy that pushes the pedals the hardest.
Yeah,
And that was probably the moment that I realized, shit, I actually have to look into the equipment, do the research, use the
wow.
fastest tires, the best gear, all this sort of stuff.
Fuck. Work it, bro.
Because
And-
it's
yeah.
such small margins these days,
Yeah,
you know.
that's
And
right.
so I learned a lot from it. That was a really good exercise for me.
Yeah.
See,
Holy
That's
shit.
one of my best losses, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, there's another loss we've got to talk about, because when Campbell got back from Europe, I beat him by 1 point something seconds in the time trial. And I was like, you went all the way to Europe. You
Smoked him.
can't even beat a
Absolutely
foot.
smoked him.
I fucked him up. I got a photo. I was like, Ron, get a photo of
Oh.
this. I'll never. That made me.
Oh,
year, actually.
that's harsh.
Absolutely.
putting our guests in the gutter.
Well, he
It's,
can't defend
uh,
himself.
yeah,
without a
yeah,
mic,
that's it. No way. No.
So you go 15:31.
Yep.
Only guy to go under 16 minutes.
Time
Uh,
cut 30 people.
Time cut. Well, they had to shift the time cut, didn't
they
they?
did. Yeah.
Essentially.
They called out on the radio. It says, due to extreme circumstances, we've stretched the time cut,
which is
whatever.
fair enough. Like, good
Oh,
on them,
bro,
like,
100%. Yeah, keep the race together.
Oh, I think
yeah.
that was a great. I mean,
Yeah.
like, who sort of foresee that coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, fucking awesome ride, bro. That was wicked, eh?
That was cool. Like, everyone's pretty stoked, and the
Yeah.
boys were sort of quite stoked on that too.
Yeah,
So I think that they knew that I really wanted to do that, and that was sort of
yeah.
my only personal thing for
Yeah.
the week.
It
So
was
they
a-
were pretty cool.
So you were last to run, obviously,
Last to run. Yeah.
and so were they all waiting at the end there for you?
Yeah, they were waiting at basically where the team was set up, which was cool. I think
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone expected me to go that fast.
Yeah, gotcha.
And which is always, like my goals. I always want to go for the goals where people don't believe
yeah,
you can, because if you're setting a goal where people believe you can do something, it's not that special.
Gotcha.
Like I'm always motivated by the stuff that people think's not possible.
Yeah.
Like with the old tight tap time trial, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
Going below, what is it, 18:30
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
Like I still reckon a sub 18's on there, you know.
No shit.
And everyone said, "Oh no, you can't sub 18," and that's what
Yeah.
motivates me because people think it's
Yeah.
not doable.
Wow. Fucking hell.
So
That was cancelled tonight due to a gale force wind and a tree falling across the road. Jesus.
Yeah. So probably not tonight.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
another night.
yeah.
Definitely not tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking gnarly. What that when we heard you broke the record and you won that, bro, like, oh, fuck, again, we were super stoked and pumped, eh? We're like, mean, bro, you won it. And then seeing you on stage with that epic trophy, the hand
the fist.
with
Yeah.
holding the stopwatch, it's like, fucking hell. It's such a
Yeah.
shame you don't get to take that home, eh?
Yeah.
Damn.
But
Anyway,
I
that
think
was
also
awesome.
like it's a testament to the guys in the team again. Like they looked after me so well
That's
all week
right. That's
that all I
right.
had to do was follow the wheels.
Yeah.
There was, you know, I didn't really have to put myself into the red, and I got to that last stage so much fresher than everyone else.
Yeah.
And that was probably the big thing. Like it's a 13K time trial, and you know, high 40s, 50Ks now doesn't sound that hard, but
Yeah.
throw in 5 days of super hard racing beforehand, it's a different story.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
What was the win, bro? Like, the last big long final. Was that headwind
that
or
was
cross?
tailwind,
Tailwind.
which was a bit different, yeah.
Yeah, so the 58 chain, would you have gone to a 60 or nah? Is 58 pretty good?
No, there's not much. 2 teeth makes sort of not much
Nothing?
difference. So
Yeah, okay.
like it was what I had that fit those cranks. So
yeah, wicked.
like it was pretty fast on the way back. I think like I was seeing 58 quite a lot.
Holy
K's an hour,
shit.
I think.
Yeah, gotcha.
Was probably the average on that last big long straight.
Yeah. Did you cross the centre line at all?
No, definitely not.
Just bring
I
that
listened to the commentaries.
Listen to the commentaries, eh? Nah, wicked ride, Mike. That was
Uh,
fucking insane. Now, going on to the next stage.
Totally. So we're at stage 8. We're at
Yeah.
the home stretch
Yeah.
now. And I guess you've had a good team huddle, a good team discussion before going into this.
Yeah, I think we were at three minutes or maybe
Yeah.
3 minutes ahead of that
Yeah,
point, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And it was the point where it was far enough for the last stage that people would kind of resign to the
Realised.
fact that they were going for podiums rather
Yeah.
than yellow jerseys, which is a real cool position for us because we could almost kind of sit back
Yeah.
and watch the other teams fight each other for the first
Yeah.
time in the week,
Yeah, wicked.
which was super cool. But also in saying that, like James Harvey was there as our sprinter, and we really wanted to do the job for him and set him
Yeah,
up and give him
gotcha.
his chance, you know,
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
worked for me all week. I wanted to do something for
yeah,
him.
gotcha.
So that was the plan. It wasn't like after the time trial, you know,
Yeah.
good job, boys, we've done it.
Yeah.
It was a stage of stage 8. How
Yeah.
are we going to help James win here?
Yeah, yeah. I seen you pulling a lap. Was it? Maybe the last lap.
The last lap, yeah.
ripping it. But going back, so were you riding the front of tour in the last 70 something Ks, whatever it was, or not really? The boys looking after you.
Again, we were happy to let a break go.
Gotcha. Campbell was up the road again.
Yeah, but we still wanted to bring it back
Yeah.
for the bunch sprint.
Yeah, wicked.
So we're happy to let it get out to 2 minutes. But, you know, I'm not going to sit up and say my job's done after my guys have worked for me hard all week.
yeah, awesome.
Like, you know, if James got good sprinting legs and
Yeah.
the gap's 2 minutes, I'm going to ride as hard as I can to bring that 2 minutes back
Yeah,
for him to have a
gotcha.
chance.
yeah,
Because
fucking
that's the
nice.
sort of, you know,
yeah,
I think that's why people ride hard for me because I
Yeah.
do the same for them.
100%.
And then luckily, well, not luckily, but with the other sort of fights and classification jerseys and things that were up for grabs, everyone was kind of chasing each other anyway. So we
Yeah.
didn't really have to do too much to keep
yeah,
it together.
Gotcha.
But we had a plan, of course. Like I said to the guys, I mean, you want to be third wheel coming into that last straight,
Yeah.
around the last corner. And I said to the guys, we want to be third wheel. So we need 2 guys in front of James, whoever that is, doesn't really matter because anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Want someone to deliver us to the front at that point. And then whoever's third wheel just go as hard as you can. Obviously, second wheel does the same thing.
Yeah.
Sprints and launches our sprinter.
Yeah.
And I think it was a lap to go. There were a couple of guys sort of firing off and firing some wee testers. And
Yeah.
I think Fouché did one. And then the French guy, Raphael, as
yeah,
well.
he went. Yeah.
Had a wee launch. And I saw, right, guys are motivated to try and get away here. So
Yeah.
I just rode tempo because I saw there was 3 guys on my wheel.
Yeah.
Teammates, of course. I thought, right, if I can just keep this together and deliver these boys, we've got a chance here.
Yeah.
So I did a lap pretty hard tempo.
Yeah.
And no one came around. And
You did a
then-
full lap.
yeah, a lap.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then I think I peeled off like 200-300 meters before that last corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the boys came past like epic, like perfectly. I think
Yeah.
it was Keisty came past me,
Yeah.
and then Ethan on his wheel,
Man.
and then James on his, and of course Hamish Keist first through that last corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Ethan bat on his wheel, and then James Harvey behind. It was just cool. Like unluckily, James got a bit boxed in for the sprint,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they sort of got the jump on him a wee bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
we executed our plan absolutely perfectly.
Yeah,
So that was a
gotcha.
pretty cool way to end
Yeah.
it, I think.
Yeah,
So,
fucking
And
nice. Wicked
That
teamwork.
would have been the perfect finish, though, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah, it would have been.
just to
Yeah,
drag
yeah,
the
yeah.
boys and give them that shot to the end.
Yeah,
that
but I
would have
think
been
at the same time, like
Yeah.
all you can do is give it a go. You know,
Yeah.
like
That's right.
if you give it a go and it doesn't work out, like at least
Yeah.
you're giving it a go, and that's
Well,
the main
yeah,
thing.
on
so.
that gusto, didn't you do that the year before and Dylan Kennett won the last last stage.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, which
so,
was cool. Yeah. I did the same thing again.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
the, I think
yeah,
the
that's
last
right.
lap on the front, just to keep it together.
Yeah,
I can't remember who led him out. I think might have done his own thing, just surfing the wheels, but
yeah,
it was pretty cool to finish it that way. So
awesome.
So emotion when you're finished, when you go across the line. Are you an emotional guy?
not particularly. I mean, I think because I'm just old and I've done so many tours, but
Yeah.
I think it was more relief this year. I think because I knew going into it that I had the legs to win.
Yeah.
And like I saw myself as the favourite.
Yeah, gotcha.
So,
So you expected.
disappointment if you hadn't won almost.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was my race to lose even before it started.
Yeah, gotcha.
I felt like it was that way
Yeah.
based on the legs I had.
Yeah,
Because I know the legs it takes to win, and I've had those legs before,
yeah,
and I knew I had those legs, if not better, this year.
Yeah.
And also after all the hard work the guys had done and the belief and the money the sponsors put up,
yeah,
because everyone was kind of going for me to win,
Yeah.
and particularly taking the yellow jersey so easily, it was sort of a target on my back the whole
Yeah.
week,
yeah.
and it was
wicked.
mine to stuff up really.
Yeah,
So
fucking-
just relief, I think. Like
Yeah.
the first one was definitely like elation, and then
Yeah,
this one I think more relief, but still pretty cool feeling to
Yeah.
finish it off.
Where does it rank in your 3 tours that you've won?
Oh, honestly, everyone's different. Like you can't.
They all say that.
Yeah, but particularly Southland, because it's not a tour that follows a certain script.
yeah,
It's not a tour where
Yep.
you went up a hilltop, then you follow the wheels, and then you bunch
Yeah.
sprints and things, and
yeah,
it's you win them. I've won them all in totally different ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Like one was a hilltop. I won
Yeah.
up the Coronet Peak.
Yeah.
And that was the one that gave me, I think, a minute and a half that I held
Yeah.
to pretty much to the end.
Yeah.
And then the next one, we had a massive team breakaway where
Yeah.
5 of us pretty much ripped the whole field apart
Yeah.
and rode away from the entire peloton.
yeah, yeah.
And then this year was the one just, chipping off small bits at a time, taking
Yeah.
the yellow jersey early, which
Yeah.
I've never done before.
Wicked. A real amazing photo that I've seen as well is you and your dad.
Yeah, it was
Cor,
pretty cool.
Cuddling
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end, like, oh fuck, Cor's
He's a
such
good bugger,
lovely
isn't
man.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, like such a real nice guy. Was Cor the only one from your family down at Southland?
No, my sister Melanie, she was down for the remarkable
Sick.
stage.
Mean. Oh,
So
yeah,
she
cool.
was there, which was cool.
Yeah, mean.
She was sort of in the area, so she
Sick.
sort of stopped by, and that was
Yeah.
cool. But definitely have my dad there was pretty
Yeah,
cool. It was
pretty-
a bit of a last minute
Cool.
decision for him to go down.
Yeah, cool. Dan, was he staying for the team or was he doing his own thing?
No, he was
or-
doing his own thing, but
Was
it was
it? Yeah,
partly
cool.
because of the COVID thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because obviously we had the news of the COVID thing on the Thursday, and I thought, right, do we need to get someone with a car to drive stuff down, or am I going to have to drive down?
yeah,
Because I was originally flying, which I did anyway, but
Yeah.
we sort of had this contingency plan to, if it is shut down, you can't get on a flight, we have to drive.
Yeah.
got you.
I sort of said to Dad, if I drive, do you want to come? Because we
Yeah.
have an extra seat in the car. And he was like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
And then obviously
wicked.
I was flying
Nice.
anyway. And he
That's
said,
cool, isn't it?
said,
Yeah.
oh, I'll still go anyway.
Yeah.
Because, I said,
Oh,
why
that's
not?
awesome.
So-
Wicked. Mate.
Awesome. So amazing tour of Southland this
Yeah.
year. It was absolutely fabulous to watch, to follow.
Yeah,
It was amazing that it actually got underway in the first
Yeah.
place, right? We were so lucky to have that,
Yeah,
but it
that's right.
produced some amazing racing and some really cool stories. What's next for you, Michael? What's the
Yeah.
plan? Where are we following you next? What are we going to talk about next time you're in the studio with us? Well, actually, you and I might talk regularly. It might be Reon we've got.
I'm
to
out.
invite.
Oh,
But-
replacement, yeah.
I'm off to C grade.
It's a job interview here.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
right. That's right.
You're up, mate.
Good question, to be honest. I mean, obviously COVID throws a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons with that. The racing sort of calendar and schedule isn't 100% confirmed, and things can change, and you've got to be sort of adaptable and take things when they come. But definitely I think the Road Nationals in Cambridge in February,
Time trial and road race.
I'll do both, yeah,
Sick.
which would be interesting. I mean, I think time trial course is good for me. I don't know about
Yeah.
the road race. It's only 144k this year,
Yeah, gotcha.
which have my thoughts about, but
Yeah, gotcha.
it is what it is. So
Yeah.
Who are we racing for next year? Have we got that decided and locked away yet?
Probably
not-
unsure.
yeah, not 100% locked in yet, but pretty much confirmed. But that'll come out in due course.
No
so-
scoops here.
No, unfortunately not.
Angus, shut up.
I can let you know.
Gotta
when I-
ask,
No.
right? Gotta ask,
I can
right?
let you know when I
Hey?
can.
Yeah.
Once things are confirmed, well,
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Something's in the way. In the
yeah, absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
Bloody
So
great.
racing,
Well deserved.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
Europe
it's
next
fucking
year, which would be cool. So,
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
which is pretty cool. I haven't been there for a few years and not with
Yeah.
a good team and good support. So,
yeah.
Oh,
looking
sounds
forward
great.
to
Fucking
that. So,
brilliant. And so what do you do? What have you been doing just quickly? So what do you do? You've got a little shop you run, but
yeah,
kind of like
a little workshop. Yeah, that
yeah.
I do.
What's
it's
this
not
bloody-
it's not so little. It's actually a full gas, like proper professional setup workshop. Does forks on mountain bikes, full gas mechanic kind of things. Got a lathe in there. You've got all sorts of. It's like a little mechanic's paradise, to be honest. It's pretty epic. Eh? So
It's
that
pretty
keeps
cool.
you busy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been doing that. To be honest, like unpacking all the gear, washing the bikes, changing the tires back, doing all the
Yeah.
washing, and it's amazing how much stuff you need for the Tour of Southland. Like
Yeah,
just
that's right.
unpack your bags is almost like a 2-day
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
So much gear, like all the bikes, the spare wheels, getting
Yeah.
everything to clean, going over the gears,
Yeah, gotcha.
putting the right cassettes on the right wheels and
Yeah.
all this sort of stuff. So a bit of that, catching up on some work as well.
Cool. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and then obviously it's just still some riding too, because I don't like to just completely stop.
Yeah,
I like to sort of just keep it going, and like
I was talking to Reon about needing another power meter for my bike because the one I got's playing up, but I wasn't sure whether you'd have one that read small enough numbers for me or not.
No, I got one that reads 360 watts. Up
Yeah,
the
yeah,
markables.
yeah.
That one. Yeah,
You need
Well,
a calibrator.
that's actually probably enough.
Yeah,
Like, let's be
exactly.
honest.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we'll go with
That's
that
his
one,
dream.
Yeah.
Oh, that's harsh. Michael Vink,
Yeah.
congratulations on winning the 2021 SBS Bank Tour of Southland. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you for the inside information we've been getting along the way. You've been a good supporter of our podcast so far. We're pretty new into this and just getting, but it's great to have the support from the likes of you within in the cycling community and spreading the word.
Yeah. Yeah, and just from me, Michael, mate, I appreciate you as a mate, as a friend, as a rider, what you do on the peloton, but also, to come in here and give us your insight on Tour of Southland, to give the viewers an insight. Like it's a part of cycling that I love to try and get out there to people to understand. It's not just you don't turn up, put a number on, we win the race. That's nothing. Yeah, it's so much to it every day. And so thanks for giving us your insights and being open about not keeping secrets and all those types of things. So yeah, it's pretty cool, bro. So congratulations. I'm extremely proud of you. It was amazing to follow. And I'm wishing you well for your next endeavors overseas and whatever you're up to, bro. So
yeah, and thank you guys too for sort of the opportunity to come here and talk about what I do. People think I was sort of born a champion bike rider, but even like Tour of Southland, I didn't win my first or my second or my third, but you keep chipping away. You do the small things right and one foot in front of the other, small steps, and you end up doing some pretty cool things. So.
Yeah. Well, we don't have time to talk about it now, but we will have you back for that, because what you just actually said was you weren't born a champion. What we didn't actually talk about is what it actually takes to be able to compete at this level at the Tour of Southland and the commitment that goes in. So I think we can save that to another day. We're already gone on the longest stage we've ever been on here now, and we've still got one good bugger left to go. So, Michael, it's time we put you in the gutter.
That's fine.
Right, the man.
Oh,
the
wait,
man.
before you go, just
what do you got,
before
mate?
you go? I have to dig in my cupboard here, look.
He's digging in his cupboard.
What's he got?
You're going to be the first person here. Actually, you really should be the second, but you're the first and you're the yellow jersey winner of some official Cycling Collab
sweet.
merch there. A t-shirt. You can put that on if you want.
No, he doesn't want to put it on now.
Turn that round, spin that round. We'll turn the camera on there. Look.
It's actually a mean logo. I put him in the gutter.
Look at that.
Savage.
Put him in the gutter.
Yeah, mate. Oh, we might have more.
We will have more.
We will have more, mate.
Sweet.
Savage. You're the first, mate. You're the first.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thanks for the gift.
Yeah, thank you for putting him in the gutter, bro.
We were Mentos, so
mean.
Cool.
Bloody great.
Savage.
Thanks,
guys,
mate.
thanks.
Superstar. Mean.
All right, next victim.
Next victim.
Next victim.
He's up.
Yeah. While we swap seats, while these boys, you can watch as they tag team in here, swapping hot seats. Campbell Pithie.
Hold on, Cam. Oh, forget Campbell for 1 sec. How sick was that, Angus? Like, have Vink come in here talking like that and getting the insights. It was fucking awesome. Mate.
Absolutely bloody.
That does it for me.
Privileged we are that these boys are here with us in the studio. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good buggers all round.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
100%.
So Campbell, now, mate, I know you're not. You're a big social media guy, and you love to be behind the camera. Before we get too far into it, don't forget, lean in, talk loud. We want to hear what you've got to say. You're not afraid of. You're not totally afraid of talking in front of the camera, because that's one of our highlights from the Tour of Southland. We lost our shit.
Yeah.
Like when you got interviewed after winning that stage and you mentioned about putting them in the gutter.
Yeah.
We here at the Cycling Collab podcast lost our shit. That was like one of our highlights.
To be fair, we lost our shit when you were up the road. Like, mate, Campbell, fuck, bro. To be honest, bro, it was actually one of the best moments in my cycling, me being involved with cycling, seeing you out the front of the race, doing what we all knew that you were capable of doing. And, all the kind of shit you've been through, the hard work and training that you've been doing over all these years. Like me personally, I've rode with you since basically day one. That when I started, met you, and all those teams and races we've been mixed and involved with. And to see that, doing what you have wanted to always do and achieving your goals in the moment on the live feed, bro, it was fucking amazing, bro. Like, congratulations, eh? Like, fuck, super proud. And like, I know that I speak on behalf of all your friends and all your family. Seeing that was absolutely outstanding, bro. So fucking too much.
You should have seen the messages going backwards and forwards between us during those stages. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just before we get started to talk about your couple of amazing stages and the tour that you had, just quickly, let's tell our listeners who Campbell Pithie is.
Yeah.
Where do you come from? What's your story? How did you start cycling?
I would have started back in my second year of high school. Dad's always been a keen cyclist as I've grown up, so it's always been the inevitable getting into cycling. It was just, Dad kind of kept us in team sports and all that, and me and my brother never got pushed into cycling. It was always like, we said, right, we'll start cycling now.
Yeah, wicked.
And it was kind of grew big enough to get on one of Dad's bikes, and I claimed my first Phelps, and
yeah, boy,
took it
from the
away.
hub, eh?
Took it away from there.
Man.
Yeah.
And so you are one of two brothers at the moment who are busy pedaling their bikes all around the world. Lawrence, your brother there, he's you're the older brother though, right?
Younger.
No.
Is he older?
Oh,
wait, hold on. Yeah, so you're older. Yeah, Campbell's older. I thought you said that Lawrence was older than him.
You need to clean your ears out over there, boy.
Holy
Talking
shit.
to the mic, mate. Just get
I'm the older one.
Make love with that microphone.
Jesus
it's the only way.
Christ.
What else we got? 2021. This year's been a good year for you. I've seen you go overseas with the Global 6 cycling team.
Yep.
Was that a bit of a wake-up call going over there into overseas and into the unknown and racing at another level?
Yeah, we were definitely thrown in the deep end. We were in some pretty big races, racing like the top of the top, really. We were always in races with World Tour boys. So it was a jump in the deep end, and it was either you sunk or you paddled at top. I wouldn't say you swam, but
wow.
And you did though.
It was good. It was good. Like, I definitely learned a lot. It was an amazing experience. So
So only racing in New Zealand prior to that, right? You'd never really.
Yeah, I dabbled in a little bit of Australian stuff. Went
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Asia
sorry.
and got food poisoning once.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They never stay consistently anywhere and race
No.
consistently
No,
or
this is
with
the
any
first time.
World Tour teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking gnarly, straight into the deep end, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Wicked. And in terms of results in kind of New Zealand, so what had been kind of some results that you were proud of? My ones are like Canterbury Champs and stuff like that. Like that, I still fizz off that. Canterbury Champs. I think I won a TT here and there, like little things like that. Got on the podium here and there, but nothing like extraordinarily amazing. But for me, they're amazing. But is there anything kind of highlights for you that stand out where you rode well or anything
massive.
like that?
The Calder Stewart, the
Calder
last
Stewart
few
series.
years, I've put in some pretty good performances there. But I've always been there or thereabouts, but I've never struck big time and won anything really.
Yeah, gotcha. Just a little side note. I remember we rode for a team for a couple of years, me and Campbell and a few other boys, but we're always trying to get you up to win the Dunedin round.
Yeah.
And had some pretty bad luck one year. So we go back and we had this wicked team plan to lead. Campbell does nothing, armchair ride for a couple of hours, 160k, whatever it was. And the whole day went so perfect. We knew we had good legs. And then another team came up beside us, probably 3 or 4k before the climb. And then someone looked around, chopped a wheel, and then boom, 60 k's an hour, Campbell's out in hospital.
30 of us are on the ground.
Yeah, 30 down. And then, it's just been marred with kind of like bad luck like that as well. This is just my opinion, bro. And we're like, fuck, so close to the hill, had the wickedest legs, and this is the stuff where I was so emotionally engaged in this whole Tour of Southland, even when you went, and then you went overseas, but so
did you come back from overseas with a whole lot of new self-belief in yourself and sort of thinking that, well, when I get to Tour of Southland, I'm actually ready to go head to head with Michael Vink and everybody else?
I definitely knew that I was coming back with like newfound form, and you always, when you're racing over there, you see it time and time again with guys coming back and racing at another level. And so I was hoping that I'd be able to carry form, but after MIQ, 2 weeks off the bike, losing to Reon in the time trial, I was a bit. I was like, this isn't good.
Loving it.
Man, he has been hanging on that for so long.
I love it. I still got the photo. Did I put that up on Instagram as my main picture? I was like, got him.
I'm taking that one to my grave.
Yeah. We always have. What are the other little races that we have against each other?
The time trial at Southland.
Oh, the time trial. So 3 2 Tour of Southland day. I've just beat you by how many seconds? 2 seconds on the last day.
1 second.
Yeah. Like no joke. And you took one back, right? The
I put
last
2
one.
minutes
You
into
put 2 minutes into me. I'm sure I was sick. I got a flat or something. But that's what the meaning behind that is. Well, because the thing is, Campbell was quite young and I was older, and I was like started to go okay, like an average kind of A grader. And then, but Campbell was always younger in races. So I was like easily kind of beating him years ago. And then what's
you're
happened
picking on the small kids.
easily. And then but what's happened over the years, watching him like grow and learn all the racing tactics, and he's kind of just grown and well past me. It's pretty. It's pretty wicked, eh? It's pretty wicked. Love it. So you go overseas, bro. You get on your first team. You got all the kit. How was that?
It was good. It was definitely it was I mean, it wasn't all plain sailing, but it was no, it was good.
Who'd you go over there? What Kiwis did you go over with?
Bailey and Ollie.
And Ollie Jones. So
yeah.
you all on the plane together?
All on the plane together.
Which would have been pretty sweet.
No, it was good. It was having those guys there made night and day difference. It would have been
And your team was predominantly English speaking, or?
Yeah, everyone spoke English pretty much.
Yeah. So the stories that I hear, most Kiwis or English people go overseas to Europe and they go on a French team. There's no fucking English. Who am I talking to? You don't understand the conversations in the team. They don't, or whatever.
How do I order my rice cake?
Or stuff like that. So that again, set yourself up quite well for that. And then going into the races, so can you remember your first what a pro race that you went in or whatever?
Well, my first race was Tour of Poland, which was like a 2.2, so not quite the big teams. But and I crashed the day before the start of the race.
In training, that's right.
Stupid little in the group, and one guy flicked off a curb, and I was looking at my front wheel with Bailey, and I just smoked the curb, and
And I remember, and so here we go, Angus, and Mike's listening as well, but I remember hearing that and I was like, fuck, not again. I was like, he's over there, made the effort, beating COVID, and then the day before has a training crash, which happens, of course, but I was like, no, is he tarred with that thing, And so did you finish that race or?
Yeah, no.
Cool.
We got through it, and Ollie had a really good performance. We were trying to help him, but it was, like I say, first time in a bunch with 150 guys and just chaos, crashes everywhere in the race. Bailey went down first 15K at stage 1.
Wow.
Just, it was crazy. So, I mean, I got used to it pretty quick, but no, it was definitely just survival mode that whole tour.
And what about so in terms of New Zealand roads, open roads, quite, in heaps of space and going over there, road furnitures?
Did
you notice the
super
difference?
narrow roads here and it's just steep uphill, steep downhill. Right-hander, left-hander, just unpredictable.
Bro, what was it like? So what was when you went into your, for me, I've never ridden in a race with World Tour riders around me. In New Zealand, a few Kiwis come back and all that, but when you're going to a race and you look around and you've got Bora, you've got Quickstep, you've got, so talk us through that, bro.
So we went from Poland, drove 40 hours and straight to France.
Work it.
So we finished the final stage of Poland, straight in the car. 4 hour. I mean, drove till 3 a.m. to some little town in Austria, stayed till 6 a.m. up again.
Shit.
Then drove till 8 p.m. that night to get to France to then start Ventoux Challenge the following day.
Shit.
Which was won by Lopez from, was on Movistar.
Ditched out. Ditched out. Work it. So you're on the start line with him and his team. And many other hitters.
Trek, Kofidis, FDJ was there.
So you're right in the middle of your dream now. You're on a team. You're over in Europe, and you're starting a team with World Tour pros. What nerves?
No.
Nah, you all right?
Nah, I wasn't nervous. I think I was too tired to be nervous.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it's really weird. You think you'd be really intimidated.
Yeah.
But it's just, you kind of look at them in a different league to you. You're it's different parts of the race. They're up front, you're in the middle, fighting with the other small teams to be as close to them as possible.
Gotcha.
You just try and hold on up a 30K climb for as long as you can, So
you notice a difference between being on a composite team and the World Tour team and the races that you get out the way, pushed, treated differently.
Pretty much. But you see it the way that they move through the bunch. It's everyone just moves for them almost. The little teams will just part ways. Whereas if you're trying to move a few wheels up, it's you're a piece of meat to eat. They'll just take you to the curb. So
holy shit.
Yeah, we'll put you in the gutter.
Put you in the gutter. And how many times did you go up that climb? What is it, Ventoux? Twice.
Yeah.
Fuck me. How'd you go?
Did you go up because it's got multiple sides to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So did you?
If you watch the Tour de France stage, it was pretty much our race was the tester to that stage.
Shit.
So the first side was not as steep at the bottom. but the last 6K the same. And I got to like 2K to go, and then it kicked off proper hard, and I got popped.
Yeah.
So I was like a minute off the front guides over the
Yeah.
first time, and then just rode up the second time, which was
Wow.
just, yeah.
Fuck. Was there a moment? So how long were you overseas for? How long?
4 months.
4 months. Was there a period there where you were like the first month getting used to the layovers, the driving, the eating, the team culture, the whole fit of being over Europe, and like just developing as kind of inside the race, and then maybe 2-3 months in, you're like, oh, actually, I'm hanging on here. I might try something, getting in moves, or where you felt kind of confident.
I definitely, like, after the first few races, just got more confident in the bunch, and just being able to stay up front and trying to make breakaways and stuff. But it was just, it was all, every race was different. It was not one race would be finishing up a 40-minute climb, the next race was like a circuit race. So
gotcha.
It was hard to get into a rhythm of things. Like,
gotcha.
But you learn, and you got to.
Do you think that was because your team had didn't have much choice, so just get in every race because it was, we'll take
what you can.
Yeah, not really focused on just getting in there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was like we were going into big races, above our team's almost level. We were punching above our weight to be in lots of these races.
So thrown in the deep end.
Yeah, big time.
And you think you got a lot out of that anyway, coming back to New Zealand, looking back at it?
Yeah, I definitely have gained a lot from it, that's for sure.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you get on the plane coming back to New Zealand. Were you thinking the whole time, like, Tour of Southland's coming up?
Yeah.
I'm trying to set up a team.
Pretty much we all had a plan to, like, wherever we went for MIQ, we had lined up bikes, ergs, and then we went to Rotorua.
So how long?
Got it. At least it smells nice.
How long were you back for before? Like, when did you land before Tour of Southland?
6 or 7 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From landing.
Perfect.
It was
Pretty
like
good.
5 weeks when we got out of MIQ.
Okay. So enough to get back and
exactly.
sort of turn yourself back over again.
When we didn't have our bikes or trainers, me and Ollie were talking, and Bailey as well. We're just like, well, at least we know we still got 5 weeks of training.
Yeah.
2 weeks off won't do us any harm.
How much walking did you do in the MIQ?
A lot.
Like half a...
Yeah, me and Bailey walked a half marathon one day.
And Ollie did a full marathon, did he?
Something like that. Yeah.
Fuck,
he just goes and punishes himself.
I think he fucked his hip flexors, Like, when I do other sports, I'm ruined, like out the gate. So you come out, and your main focus is to come and Tour of Southland?
Yeah, fully focused on it.
Yeah. And so were you pressured? Were you going for GC? What was he actually thinking about it?
I was definitely had a mindset that I was going to try and get my best result for GC. And then obviously day one, had a shocker on that second gravel sector. Didn't have the legs to follow Ethan's pull, was in the second group, then had an issue, and then got dropped from that little group in the final climb, and then it was full gas after that, and I couldn't get myself back on and just lost time. So,
and what about that stage there? So that happened there. You lost 6 minutes.
Yeah.
You finished stage? What's your headspace like? You
pretty
fucked
angry.
Off? Yeah, angry. Fucked off.
Yeah, like I wasn't like, oh, tour's done now or anything. I knew that I just had to change my focus. But I was definitely I was still annoyed. Yeah, I was definitely annoyed.
So going back, bro, how important is it for you? So would you rather be on the team that you were, which is a bunch of cool dudes, all giving their best, happy, right, amazing, or would you rather go on, you're the GC leader and we're all riding like a Michael Vink's team? So what do you think for you?
For me, this year, I would have preferred my setup.
Yeah, gotcha.
100%.
So
like,
less
good
pressure.
bunch of lads.
Yeah.
We're just, it's not that we're there to have fun, but everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
But there were so many different goals for our team. So it wasn't just like everyone watching me, trying to help me.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like, it was kind of cool. Just, not that we all free roamed, we sucked together in a bunch, but you can still, me and A-Frame could be up front while like Mitch and Jerry are looking after each other at the back.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, that sort of stuff.
It's still plenty of time, right, for you? Like, so, you're still in that exploring stage. I suppose, to go, well, okay, what we're doing here for this tour, we're going to learn some more things. We're going to look to tick all these boxes off because that time's coming for that proper full-on GC attack.
Those guys knew that we all went in knowing that I was trying to go for GC. So we're definitely they were there to help me if they could, when they could, and they would have been able to. But of course, it just
didn't pan out after day one.
Yeah, gotcha. Well. So, and my thing is, how did you get yourself out of the angry, negative headspace? So, you lose 6 minutes. Your GC thing is like not over because it's Tour of Southland, but it's fucking 6 minutes is a lot,
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was never going to be able to like go for the podium now, but of course, you can still get up there because, as you've seen before, guys take back 10 minutes on one day. But yeah, I knew that GC ambition of mine, which was to get on the podium, was gone.
Yeah, gotcha.
What you actually ended up doing was making a hell of a statement. Like, and in fact, I don't know, we've talked about this before, that actually what actually transpired through the tour for you was actually probably one of the best things that could have happened. Like, you put yourself on a platform on two massive days. And you know, like, maybe if you'd have just been doing that GC thing and floating around just trying to do that, you would have gone about your work, gone about the way you went about it. But what you actually did, which turned out, I think, for the better, is said, "Hey, I'm Campbell Pithy. Who the fuck are you?"
Totally.
And like, just touching on that before we should actually get into what happened at each stage, though, it's kind of like, so to be a GC rider, in my opinion, is you still have to be able to win, right? And you still have to be able to win from the bunch that gets towed the whole way in teammates, you know, and back it all up, right? But what I love also as well is that, like, Campbell, he didn't get towed around for his results. He went out and like raced. You know, that for me, I'm like a racer. I love getting the fucking brake attack nonstop until we get, or whatever it is. But for me, like, seeing the way that you like attack the race after the gravel, you know, like you attacked and bridged up to the break, and then attacked that break, and then went solo, and those types of things. For me, that was, you know, like a wicked platform, and to show the character that you've got. You know, the little mongrel, the little dog. You know, it's like,
it's the way I like to race.
And it's fucking awesome. You know, it's kind of like you let the bear out the cage or whatever, and it's attacked. You know,
so cool. Let's go there then. Let's talk about stage 3. Riverton to Tiana. Turned out to be off the hook. Out the gate. When did the realization come to you that the job was on?
Well, after that blowout on day 1, I was, like Reon said before, I was angry, and he said, he asked, how did I get rid of it? I didn't. Like, I was riding with one goal to win that day. Like, I knew it could be
redemption
possible to win it. Like, not the way. I knew I had to be in a breakaway, and then I mean, that first move went, and I thought, oh, day's done. Like, I've blown it, missed a break. Told Mitch, like, relax, bro, break's done. Like, that will go to the line. No one's dangerous in it. And then, just that wind was picking up a bit, and I thought maybe it would go over the top of that 25K comp. And I just moved up, and I got onto the back of these boys, and Black Smoke kicked it off, and it worked out in my favor.
Wicked. So you had a teammate up the road. Dougal Allen up the road, right?
Was up the road.
And so in your mind, you knew he was up the road. And now you're in this fucking group of, say, 15 riders of, like, GC weapons, like, riding for time now. This is the front of the race. You know you're going to... You didn't get there straight away because there was a little bit of delay there. But were you like, okay, I know I have to roll in the echelon to save my place, but were you like, missing a few turns, we've been smart, or just keeping
at the start, I was fighting to be in the echelon. You've got to be. It's easier to be in that group rolling than being the one in the gut.
And the gut, 100%.
Like, you're matching the guy's power, and you can only do that for so long when you're getting rest when you're in. So I was there, but as we started to get close, like through to a Tapari, it did become. We knew we'd caught the front. The crossies had stopped now, so everyone's kind of just looking at each other. So I knew. I went to the back bin and I waited to catch that group. I mean, I thought back to 2019, I think, where Tom Hubbard, Brad Evans, and Morgan Smith went. And it was a very similar situation where it split like that. There was like 30 guys up front. They attacked before Black Mount, got away. I mean, Brad and Tom came back, but Morgan carried on one stage.
And won the stage. Which I beat him in the year before, I think. Actually, he got third.
Of course he did.
Anyway, I can't remember. Continue.
So I was kind of thinking about that, and I was like, right, if I go now, a couple guys will come with me. I was hoping a Black Spoke and an SBS guy. It was like perfect scenario. There were guys on that team who had lost time, were there, and I'm like, if they follow, we could be on. I mean, it's just about trying to beat them. But I went, no one followed, and I was going to sit up. I looked back and I was like, oh, I'm going back. And I'm like, you just look like an absolute dick. You've attacked and you're just going to sit up. So I just kind of carried on with it. And then...
Rule number 1, never get dropped from the breakaway. What happens when you're the only rider on the breakaway? Keep fucking going. So you caught the break. You attacked out to the left. Look behind. No one's coming across. You were hoping a couple other riders will come with you for some assistance. Still 90 Ks to go. You've got Black Mount climb to come. And then you realize you're on your own, no one's coming across. And then so in terms of like numbers, Like, did you back off a little? Did you go, okay, let's wait for the first time gap, second
Yeah,
time
so
gap?
when I got my first time gap, it was like a minute.
Yeah.
And then I went back down to like 30 seconds. And I was like,
So someone's trying to bridge across or speeding up.
Yeah.
A little.
And then I kind of kept going and I looked back and there was like, I could see the convoy in the distance. And then they come up and they're like 4.5 minutes.
Sick.
And I was like, this can't be right. This seems weird. It's only been like 10K.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I've set up. And so I was just like, right, I've just got to push real hard to get over Blackmount because I knew that they could just chip so much time off me up there. And I was like, if I get caught on Blackmount before Blackmount and they're going full, it's probably, I'm going to get dropped from the front guys. So I knew so I really tried to get as much time before Blackmount.
Gotcha.
And I'd also looked at the wind from the night before.
Yeah.
And most years it's been headwind after them.
Yeah.
But it was tailwind off Blackmount. So I knew that it kind of favored me.
Yeah.
In the sense that I was in like 60K an hour for the next 10K after Blackmount, where the bunch isn't going to go much quicker than that.
That's right.
So I held that gap. So yeah, like I knew, when I had 6 minutes at the bottom of Blackmount, I got told at the top I had 6 minutes. I was like, all right, they're going to take 3 minutes out of me.
Yeah.
And so I got down and they're like, you still have 5 minutes at the top. So I'm like, all right, they haven't ridden hard. No one's chasing.
Yeah.
I've just got to commit. So and it got really hard. The last 30K, I was on an absolute hole. And it wasn't, the tailwind had gone to crosswind on the straight to Manapuri.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it would be tailwind again for the last 20 odd K, and it just it wasn't. It was such a dead road.
Yeah.
And my time gap was going down really quick. So one of the bikes came past, had 5 minutes. 2 minutes later, it was 4 minutes. I mean, about 5 minutes later, it was 3 minutes. So I'm like, I'm going to get caught. And I lost a lot of faith. I was like, this isn't good. My power, I couldn't push any harder. I tried to push harder. Instantly started cramping up.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm stuck at this power. I've just got to, if it's enough, it's enough. I mean,
what were those numbers there? What were you there?
I was at like 310.
Yeah, gotcha.
There. But for 2 hours, I averaged 340 watts.
Work it, gotcha.
So
Fuck.
Yeah, and then in the last 5K, it went quick. It starts going downhill into Tianao, and then I knew I'd won.
That's at the moment, you know. So as soon as you get to that hotel on the right, and it's kind of downhill, and the left turn, so you knew you weren't getting caught. Yeah,
well, I hadn't had a time gap for a while, but all the cars were still behind me, so I'm like, I should be fine.
Work it.
Yeah.
And coming in, and what were you feeling? What were you doing? What's going on here? You're about to win your first fucking Tour of Southland stage.
It was all pretty numb. Pretty numb.
Yeah.
Like,
were you thinking about your family or your team or yourself? Or?
Yeah, I was thinking about the boys and like just after the down buzzer yesterday, just being able to win the stage was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Is it like were you quite like I'm not ashamed to say that when I've done some pretty amazing things in my life, I'm like almost kind of proud of myself that I'd done it. I didn't give up the fight. I was put in a position. I was like, fuck, you know what? You know, did you feel like a sense of like healthy pride of yourself that you've done this? You've shown people like.
It's going to be pretty bad that I say this, but I actually had the discussion with my mechanic the next night. I don't feel fulfilled with the one stage win.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was just like this. I was still annoyed after day one because I had come in fully focused on GC. With the intention of trying to, and I was just like, I'm still not happy. I didn't feel like I'd been gifted the stage by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't like in my dream scenario. It's like I wanted to outclass some guys. You know, being a 5-6 man break. Attack them.
Gotcha.
You know, like of course it's special and it was one of those races, but like I didn't feel fulfilled with it yet. I wanted more.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Well, I can tell you now, in my opinion, bro, for me, that was fucking special. For hundreds of other people, it was so impressive and a part of history of Tour of Southland for how you rode. But it's so wicked how the mind does and how this is your stage, you're in, and that's how you felt. And then to keep continuing on pushing.
I mean, looking back now, like it's amazing.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
But in the time, I was still like, nah, I'm not happy with it.
The fight wasn't over.
Yeah, exactly. There's still 4 more days.
Fuck, that's
what was the reaction from the other riders? Again, like did you get texts that night? Did you?
Yeah, I had a lot of messages from mates back home, mates at the race. Like, no, for sure. Like everyone was stoked, and I was stoked as well. But the boys were like they were speechless.
Yeah,
they were like they didn't know what to say. They were like fucking like it was so amazing for them, and they were like they really didn't know what to say.
Was there a bit of small talk the next day on the start line, or about the day before?
Yeah, but again, like,
but that must make you feel proud, right? That when everybody's like, you know, talking about that stage, like, because the reality was it was pretty fucking epic, right?
Yeah.
So,
But it's just like after day one, it's kind of a reset, refocus thing. Like,
Yeah, gotcha.
you still got 4 more days.
Do you felt like you ticked a box? Like almost like for me, I felt like I haven't ticked that box. I've got 2/3, and I'm like, fuck. For me to be fulfilled as a New Zealand cyclist, to win a stage in Tour of Southland. This is my opinion. For me, I don't feel fulfilled. But for my question to you would be like,
I've
you've
always
ticked
wanted
that
to win a
box.
stage.
Now you're a
exactly.
stage winner of Tour of Southland. You know, in history, it's like a pretty the prestigious race. So you've ticked that box. But what you're saying is you want more, and you're hungry for
I
more,
still want more.
and you want to win in a violent way.
but do you think now?
Yeah, boy.
Do you think now, relatively, the mindset is actually it's actually easier now to win another stage, like trying to win that first stage and that unknown of actually, can I win one? Can I not win one? Like Reon said, you tick the box for the first one. So actually now you know you can win a Tour of Southland. So does that then say, well, actually, you know what? Why stop at one?
Yeah, I mean, well, funny story. I mean, one of my old coaches, Hayden Ralston, who's coached Reon, who then helped me afterwards after Reon coached me. He messaged me saying, like, first one's always the hardest. And then obviously after 2 days later, this goes told you so, which was pretty cool. So like,
it's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
But also for your old coaches to keep in contact with you and push you.
exactly.
That's what I mean. It's like
Yeah,
it's,
and he helped me out a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty wicked, eh?
Yeah.
Like it's about the connection you have with another human being, and the care and understanding for his goals and aspirations, and to see them fulfill it. Fuck, man.
So as we're saying, it didn't stop there. But you didn't actually full stop for the rest of the tour. Just about, you were involved.
Yeah,
you're in the break the next day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went up the road with like 4 guys. And I was like perfect KOM points. That was my intention.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then obviously like 15 guys came across and they were charging, and I was getting abused by sitting on. I was cooked. I didn't want to be.
What
there.
day was that? What stage was that one?
So this is Remarkables.
Oh, Remarkables. Yeah. But fucking hell.
Yeah. So, and then of course comes win number 2 up Bluff Hill, which is, this was I don't know, this was just as impressive, really. Our messages were going berserko again, like as we were watching the commentary, going, are we really really seeing this? Is this actually what we're reading?
Yeah, like Kate, your dad, your mom, like everyone, mate. Like it was pretty outrageous saying, well, like, can he hold it? Mudge's there, all this. So anyway, so after that,
I actually think that when we were doing it, I had to go, like, some of us actually have a day job, and I had to go into a meeting, and I had to come out afterwards to actually find out what had happened. I was like, what's going on here?
Pretty nuts, eh? But so talking of your team, like they were, by you getting that first result, they were obviously fizzing. You could sense a different, fuck, we've got Campbell's just won a stage, and you get a bit of healthy pride in the bunch too. Like, we fucking got a stage winner on our team now,
Yeah, and I mean, everyone was getting along real well. I mean, Doug would have been in the moves. A-Frame was like starting to get that.
Yeah. Jerry was attacking at start. Jerry was attacking.
Jerry was getting into it. Mitch was getting more confident in the bunch.
Yeah.
Max was ripping it.
Yeah, trying to get in break. It was pretty active. So the
whole team was there.
So that's what you add when you get a result like that. You just lift the whole fucking bunch. The sponsors, the team riders, supporters. Like, it's pretty epic. So you notice a difference from the first started.
But I mean, everyone was. We never no one was ever down buzzed.
For
it was
sure.
Always still the same vibe. But everyone was definitely keen to get into it.
Wicked. Moving on to Bluff then. Run us through it, bro. What happened? You feeling good in the morning? Shit, healthy? What's your go?
I wouldn't say I was feeling good, but I knew I had all right legs. But in my head, I was focused on the next day, because before the tour started, I was like, this is the one stage I can win.
Yeah.
Like, I backed myself to win the stage to Gore more than any other stage.
Yeah.
But those 3 guys got away, obviously, and then going up letterbox climb, it all kicked off, and I came across late with Keegan Hornblow.
Yeah, who was riding exceptionally well.
Yeah, he was going really good. And me and him came across. I think we were the last ones into that front group, or the second group on the road, but the main bunch. And then the next 20k, I was just swinging.
Yeah,
it was full gas attacks.
Yeah,
every time attacks, so I get dropped by like 10 meters, then hold it.
So that's when they were attacking Michael, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So they're attacking for GC. Yeah, got you.
Yeah. So they're all going over all those next climbs, and then I was swinging. I thought I might get dropped, but a couple of times Ethan would be coming back.
Yeah.
I was like, perfect. Like, Ethan will pull me back on. Like, I'm safe. I mean, there was one where I was properly dropped. I was about 15 meters off the back, and Ethan was coming back. I was like, all right, sweet, I'm safe. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
relax. And Bailey pushed him real hard up and over the top of the climb.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I had to like chase back on by myself. And I got back because Vink shut down the move and they all set up again.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as they got out of those hills and it all set up, I'm like, I'm just gonna go. And I went, and obviously Xander and Callum Nisbet, a guy from Coupland's.
From Coupland's, that's right. Yeah. So there was 4 in the break actually.
Yeah, so there was like us 3, and then obviously Mudge came across.
Yeah, pretty
soon after that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the gap wasn't too big when he came across.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he came pretty quick. And they were rolling hard. I was working. I wanted to get the gap out, but then after we dropped Callum,
purposely, or he just dropped off?
He'd been in the first move and stuff, so like young guy, and
gotcha.
So I think just on one of the rollers, he just got
he
just got dropped. So but it was us 3, and that's when I started to think, right, how am I going to win this? We'd gone out to like 2 minutes now, So I was trying to think, in the back of my mind, like what time I'd try and need to. And I knew I'd go up there pretty quick. Like I've gone 7th up there before. So I knew I can compete against him pretty good. So so Xander and Mudgy were pulling full gas. I just pulled 15-second pulls, keep the speed up, and just try and keep Luke happy more than anything.
So, bro, just pausing there, bro. So you've got Xander, who rides for Black Spoke on the Pinarello, but he actually was riding for Business South. And you got Mudgeway on the Pinarello riding as teammate, but riding for his real, his team, Black Spoke. So in my eyes, I said to Gus, I was like, I think they might fuck him over here. They might 1-2 him close to the hill. Yeah. So was there any of that? Were you thinking what's going on here?
I wasn't too worried about that.
Gotcha,
I was more, what didn't make me happy. It was more, my 2 best mates are both in front of Xander on GC. So I was kind of looking at that.
So Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey and Logan.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like 2 Christchurch
What about
lads.
who says his 2 best mates? I'm like, am I not one of his best mates? I'm like, fuck's sake, jokes, bro.
But anyway.
It's all about you, isn't it?
I was hurt. I was fucking hell. So you're up the road, those 3 there. You got those two Black Spoke pulls with you. Yeah.
And Michael pointed out before how Luke's really small. And so I was on his wheel most of the time.
There's a photo. It's hideous.
I know. I think I've just been standing up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But So, but I mean, we've been racing with Logan for like the last 4 years now.
Yeah.
And he's the same size. So you're used to that.
Yeah.
So that didn't bother me much. But so a couple of times me and Xander would just try and like make each other go onto Luke's wheel to take that extra. You're almost doing a second lap when you're on his wheel.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he was telling me it's cooked and blah blah blah. The story is long.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking I want to get rid of him. For that point, he could attack coming into the climb, whatever.
Gotcha.
I knew I'd be able to outclimb him, but I just didn't want to deal with another person.
Yeah.
So me and him drifted off the back of Luke by like 50 meters, and then I managed to drop him and got back to Luke. And so he went back.
Gotcha. So under 23 jerseys now going back.
Gone back to them.
Yeah, that's threatening the other boys. Yeah, gotcha. Holy shit.
So I was happy about that. It made me have to watch only Luke.
Yeah,
worry about one person.
Yeah, gotcha.
And we had 3 minutes. So I knew the time. I didn't need another person there to be pulling.
That's right. Gotcha.
To be worried about time.
Yeah.
And so, so then it was just me and Luke, and he started pulling pretty hard into the bottom of Bluff.
Yeah.
And coming into the bottom of the hill, I knew I was backing myself at that point. Like, I mean, you've got to.
Yeah.
So
did you want to sit on, or do you want those Carween points just in that first 300 meters?
Yeah.
Up there?
So I was thinking about the points. Like, I wanted to get those points straight away.
Yeah.
Because then, I knew I was close on the jersey.
Yeah.
But so I mean, I just started to climb, and then I flicked at the top of that first one.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I carried on. And at that point, it didn't bother me. We're doing 15, 16K an hour, and it makes no difference whether you're second wheel or first wheel. And I'd rather be first wheel and just setting a pace that I can hold.
Up the climb, right?
Yeah,
up the bluff.
Exactly.
Yeah, got you.
And then it was just ride what I could. I didn't look back once. I didn't until someone told me I dropped him. I didn't even know he was gone. Yeah, so, and I was just trying to hold on. I didn't know where these Michael and Josh and I knew they'd be close. And
what were the sensations of the leg going into the bottom of the Bluff? Were you like, oh, I'm hooking here, I'm going good? Like Luke's ripping it for time, but were you like feeling it in the legs? Were you like,
no, I felt good.
You felt good?
Yeah, I was pretty confident. Like I knew, I was confident I'd be able to have the better of Luke. It was more whether or not these guys were going to fly up behind us.
Gotcha.
But it'd been hard for everyone.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I knew that they wouldn't have the freshest legs as well.
Did you look back once?
Yeah, of course.
And where was that after? So you got the wall. You come around the wall. I sent him
Yeah.
10 meters off your wheel before that steep corner, the wedge kind of thing.
I had a little look back on that long straight because you can see right back down.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see anyone, but I could see all the vans. So they
Yeah.
were like blocked by the cars behind us. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they're close, but
Yeah.
it's hard to judge time because it's such a long straight. But
is that when you knew you've got the stage? You think?
no, I didn't know. I looked back like 3 times in the last corner because again, like I've seen guys just come flying around that last straight who have attacked from behind. So I knew they could be going 10k an hour quicker than what I was. So I was still panicked until I got over the line. Really.
Fuck. And tell us about the last 100 meters.
Tough. I started zigzagging a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd make it around the right hander at one stage.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, but then
shit. Because you're riding pretty hard up that long, the wall, like say, 20 meters before that when Mudgeway was about like 10 meters off your wheel, you were like kind of zigzagging with power. And I was like, shit, you still got that like the hardest part of the climb to go. And I was like, and then it flattens out. Obviously, you can get a lot of speed, but I was like, fuck, you're zigzagging already. You know, most people zigzag there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's been a long day.
So you were full gas struggling there?
Yeah. I mean, I was still over the top of it, but it was everything going into the pedals.
Cross the line?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, I was cooked.
Cooked?
I went straight for the shade.
Yeah, under the truck there, onto the truck in the shade.
Went and hit in the corner.
Yeah.
No, it was good. That was when I was like, right, I've done something cool here.
Work it.
Yeah,
work it.
So this time across the finish line, the fulfillment was there almost.
Yeah,
as if
that
we
was
were
it.
talking
I
about
was
before.
like, day one was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Shit.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, fucking out the gate, eh?
And again, just, lit up the commentary of Tour of Southland and etched some genuine memories into the history of Tour of Southland.
Yeah.
For you now, how do you rate your 2021 Tour of Southland?
9 out of 10.
So only one thing better than that'd be to win the thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Like, I in my head, it's like if I had gotten third on GC or like 2 stage wins, I'd say two stage wins.
Right.
Yeah.
Even second, right? I'd rather have 2. Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have some stages. Yellow.
Well, you've got neither.
Yeah, I know. But hey, you can have dreams, bro. You can have dreams. A man can have dreams,
He's
brother.
got friends who have done it.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
Not best friends, though.
Yeah. Good call, mate. Good call. So, that stage. So you finished there at the top. Obviously, you were cracked, like out the gate, gone.
Yeah.
Were you fucking proud of yourself or what?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, fuck, I've done it. Now I've violently ripped their legs off and showed my class or what? Like, you've won Bluff Hill, bro.
Yeah, I was happy with
like
that.
Growing up as a young cyclist, Bluff Hill it's all about Bluff Hill. Now you've just gone and won a stage and now you won Bluff Hill. Were you like, fuck? Were you kind of like I was fucking amazed. Were you like amazed by what you've just done, or you're living in that moment where you wanted to get and achieve, or?
Yeah, I was definitely stoked with it. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't have asked for more after that. And all the boys were stoked. And A-Frame had been in moves at the start. Like, everyone had chipped in that stage as well. Like, everyone had been helping. And,
and that's where you took the KOM jersey. Am I right? That's
yeah.
where you took control of the KOM jersey.
Yeah.
And that became your new focus. Or you wanted to win the next day. I spoke to Campbell on the phone after that, both those stages anyway. And he was like, even before the tour, he's like, nah, this is stage. I want to focus on winning the stage. I was like, holy shit. And he still had that mindset.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, fuck, he's won 2 stages in the KOM jersey and he's still parking that and not getting emotionally engaged in it and still focusing on the next day. The tour's not over. And I was quite amazed by that, bro. It's fucking, it's a pretty good attitude.
Showing a lot of maturity, isn't it?
It didn't go that way, though.
No, I know, but you went down.
But the intention was there, right?
Yeah,
so like
we went
the
down
mindset,
swinging.
the maturity as a rider,
Yeah.
And the whole thing was well shown.
And that's what the thing about the tour is like when you got 3 riders trying to chase one jersey, the KOM jersey, and
exactly.
2 other fucking shit hot riders that are very active.
Well, there were 4 of us.
Who was it? So who was it?
So there was like me on 30, and me and James, Paul Wright, and Josh Bennett on 20.
Yeah,
and there was 18 points up for grabs
that
day.
Yeah. So like, and that's what I mean.
It was full gas.
You can't be in every break, can you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was like 70 Ks of just chasing everything.
Yeah.
And like, we're in, me and Alex and Dougal and Max were in moves for 70K, and it was just
well, actually all tour it was like Wright and Frames coming back to the bunch, which I knew, and especially in those later days where Alex was marking Paul Wright. to try and for the
Yeah.
KOM point. So that's what you were seeing as well. So
Yep.
it's pretty fucking epic, the whole game of chess of cycling, eh?
Yeah, I mean, there was one time when like me and Paul could have been in the breakaway of the day.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
know.
they showed it on TV.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we were
yeah.
with Guy,
Yeah, that's right.
and me and him just like were playing games.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's right.
He didn't want to be there with me, and
Yeah,
I was like, well, let's just go back then. And
Yeah.
then he tried to get back up, and then
Yeah.
I had to chase him again. And
yeah.
And then the next move was with James, and then
That's
it was
right.
just too much.
And
And
then he took it.
I think it shows like the days that I'd had in the lead and the few days before that compared to he wasn't in that move to Bluff the day before.
Yeah.
Easy out remarkables.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he just had unstoppable legs that day, and he cleaned up every KOM point and then went solo. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's no stopping
We
him
were
that day.
counting them up.
Yeah, I knew.
"Fuck, there's
As
one
soon as he was
more."
in the move, I was
know.
like, game
yeah,
over.
I know. And the cool thing is, though, your team got behind you.
All the
chased
boys
it,
got on the front. It
chased
was pretty
35
awesome.
Ks, full
Yeah,
gas, trying to
exactly, I mean.
control. Now, did you have it as a plan, or what was
No.
it? Nah, they all just
They
stepped
just
up on it?
they all came up and they're like, should we ride? I'm like, if you want to ride,
Yeah, boy.
I'm not going to stop you. Like,
Yeah,
go for it.
cool.
I mean, yeah, so they rode into the first KOM of the day where then it kicked off. And then it was like 2 minutes or something. I was like, oh, I've just got to try and see if I can get this move back close. And I tried to pull, but I was pretty much toasted by that
Is
point.
that when you surrendered? Not surrendered, but you're like, fuck.
Pretty much, yeah. So I
shit.
tried to pull as hard as I could to the next KOM.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hoping that it would be like close enough that guys be like, oh, maybe I can like get across. Because I knew that he could have won all those other ones. If he just didn't get the last one, then we'd be like equal. And then it's like on the last day there's one KOM. So it'd be like, at least there's a chance.
Yeah, it's a fight.
But it was too big of a job. But all the boys went down swinging.
Yeah, fuck,
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's
It's
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool.
It was wicked to see for everyone. You know,
That was
like,
special.
yeah, it's pretty
All the
cool.
guys up front.
And I'm stoked that there's photos of it. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, wicked.
Yeah.
And, for like the likes of Mitch and shit being on the front chasing. Oh, the whole Jerry, Mitch,
yeah.
Dougal, A-Frame, yourself, and everyone, Chris, Matt, everyone mechanics
Yeah,
involved.
exactly.
Pretty epic, 2-stage wins, fighting for the KOM jersey, and the boys, trying to back you up, like pretty.
I don't think some people out there actually understand how much of a team sport it is, right?
Oh,
Like, I think
it's massive.
there's plenty of people out there that probably see one guy off the front, a Michael Vink winning it, a Campbell Pithy winning the stage.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
really
it's
hard
been
to
covered.
express, how big a
it's
team.
like not even in the race, like what happens when not after,
Yeah.
and everyone like not just going to their rooms and going like, today was shit. Like, we've lost time, whatever. And everyone having a sulk, all the boys are still out in the living room chatting. Everyone's in good spirits.
Matt Maloney would have been making you espresso martinis, was he?
We got naps from Scapegrace Gym.
Oh,
just
yeah.
whipping
He's
up-
a good dude,
whipping
eh?
up drinks. We got guys coming in.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
drinking. Like,
Yeah.
not the riders.
Yeah.
So
It's to numb the
every
pain.
day was a good vibe.
Yeah, it's a good vibe, eh? It's good to
vibes.
be around, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
So what's next for Campbell Pithy?
Yeah, what are you up to?
What are
mate?
you up to for
Oh,
2022,
Got any
I
goals?
guess?
What up?
I don't know what's up for me.
You don't know?
Nah,
Nah.
not much in there.
Do you-
Anything in the pipeline?
Yeah,
No,
not at the moment.
nothing to keep secret.
Shit, if you're out there watching this, whoever you are, need a rider, by
Yeah,
golly, we've got one sitting here that's just
it's pretty clear to see.
But
Like,
yeah.
have you got goals are you going to try and get yourself back over to Europe next year?
I'd like to.
You'd like to go back
Yeah,
over?
of course.
Yeah, so
yeah.
you're not
I
going to.
feel like the job's not done.
Yeah, boy. Epic.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's fucking epic. Well, Campbell, mate, yeah, you took us all on a ride with you, bro. Like myself, I'm extremely proud of you for a mate of mine. And fuck, mate, you're like a little brother to me, bro. And I was so blown away by the way that you rode your bike and seeing you show your true class out there in one of the hardest race in New Zealand. I'm extremely
Thank you.
proud, and I really am grateful. I know you're not a shy person, but you don't really do things like this. So to come on this, the Cycling Collab podcast and share your experience, bro, I'm.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we're real grateful.
good.
We're real grateful. So
Yeah,
thank you,
man.
bro.
Of course, there's
Have a
one
go.
thing left to do, and that is, of course, give you your Cycling Collab t-shirt, put them in the gutter.
Yeah, boy.
Now this t-shirt here,
Extra small, climber.
extra small. We
Thanks,
can
got
I
X
get
large.
that in the,
It's blown out.
look
Like
at
me.
that there. But we actually promised you this t-shirt before these things even existed, so we had to quickly throw them into production because we knew we had to come good
Yeah.
Beautiful.
on what we'd promised. So, mate, congratulations
Thank you.
on an amazing tour, on two
Yeah.
stage wins, keeping us entertained,
Yeah.
proud as hell.
Yeah.
We welcome you back here anytime.
Yeah.
No, I'll be back.
Superstar. Fucking epic.
Get the other one on, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Come on
Get
next.
Loz. We'll get Loz on next.
This
Yeah.
is his element.
Yeah.
So, bro, that's us. That's been our special little extra podcast that we've put on. I can't even say it's little because shit, we've gone a long time here, but some great content.
I hope you push record. That's all I can say.
Shit, that'll be a cock up, wouldn't it? I hope everybody out there's enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah.
Don't forget on YouTube, give us a subscribe, hit the like button. We're on Insta, we're on Facebook. What's our handle on Insta?
Fuck, do I know?
The Cycling
Campbell.
Collab podcast.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
mate, you nailed it. There you go. Look at that. Too easy.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you've got any complaints, you can email them to Reon at, no, just kidding, jokes. In the meantime, Reon, you and I this weekend, we've got a date with some vertical meters.
Yeah, we're fucked basically. 300 meters. Oh, no, 300 kilometers, 289. Fucking, I don't know, mate.
Mate, I think we took 300 kilometres, but apparently we weren't precise enough for one Mr. Michael Vink.
It's
So
298
they tell
kilometers.
us it's 298 and
298.
9,100
Nah,
vertical
you're
meters.
wrong. I got a message from the gravel dude. He's like, I'm sorry to say, mate, but it's
It-
9,800
500,
meters.
is it?
800, yeah.
Oh, okay. I
So-
put it in my Garmin today and it come up with a different number too. So
Yeah, so we're fucked.
It's
Anyway.
always different.
Yeah,
Everyone will tell you different.
yeah. Fuck's sake.
It'll be like 10 or 11,000 by the time you circle back to make sure I'm okay each hill.
And if anyone's still listening to this, aren't we giving something away if someone can guess my time? I still don't think I'm going to sleep. I don't know if I can sleep. I actually want to try and win it on my mountain bike. So if anyone wants to beat me, come
Max
beat
Jones.
me. Bring it. Max Jones.
Yeah, Max.
That's a
Jones.
shout out to Max Jones.
Max
I don't know.
Jones. You reckon he's going to beat me? What's okay? What's your call? Do you think Max Jones will beat me in this race?
Oh, now I'll go back on my word. I'll back you.
Yeah, my brother. Oh,
So now we've gone from
he's probably gonna win.
going to ride the hell out of this thing and bury ourselves deep to going, actually, that's probably not the best idea for the hour record. Maybe we'll have a nighttime sleep.
Yeah.
To back to bloody burying everybody in the
Yeah,
gutter again.
That just shows you I'm a bit psychopathic, to be honest.
We'll see.
Regardless,
week-
we're looking forward to it anyway.
The weekend's coming. There'll be a full report on the Le Petit
Yeah.
Brevet and the Ride the Wilderness race that we've just come from in the weekend. And
I got dropped.
In our next podcast, you can hear all about how Reon got dropped.
Yeah.
There. Thank you all very much. Until then, that's us. See you. Bye.
Peace. Later.